Alright, so, now that we're back to the recording, apologies for those who joined us for part 2, with part 1 just being the intro. James, apologies, I cut you off in the middle of when you were explaining what you had found as an inventory on the ship after going through. So go ahead, feel free.
So you already met the Cyclone Bison. There's also a lightning-beaked pheasant hawk. There's 4 days worth of rations, 100 pounds of gold, 4 murlocs, and mimic dung, which... Was the mimic dung just neatly packaged, or was it just spread throughout the ship?
The mimic dung was neatly packaged. It is specifically used. You would notice is used for basically insulation, as well as for minor growth, for speedier growth on certain plants.
Okay. Good now. Sweet.
Nice. Did you get a
We haven't gotten the bill yet for the repairs, no. Although we still do have to go deliver this letter.
Yes. While you were doing that, me and Essa met with that group of adventurers that supposedly took care of that globe.
I heard good things all about them. How was it?
They're green. Very new to the profession.
They definitely did not kill the globe.
Yeah, I don't think they killed the globe.
Mostly got really lucky, but I got that.
Well, the rumor going around was that there was this boar with them, so... Could that have done it?
Well, I don't know. That'd be a pretty strong
First here
boar.
grow really big. I don't know how strong they are.
But they fought well. What would you think of their scout, Essa? I don't know much about that particularly, but they do.
When I left warned the party about the elemental, he decided to pull the random person out of it without consulting the party.
That is about the dumbest thing you can do against anything.
He was stealthy. He was good at that part.
At least he didn't get you all nearly killed, right?
Almost.
We were mostly fine.
Well, did the man pay you guys for saving him?
Holman, do you want to tell him, or...?
Oh, yes. That gentleman is an associate of the Golden Company.
I'm going to write the fines up. I'm going to get a ledger, I'm going to write all the fines up that man owes us, and he will be paying for it.
That's fine. He was handing out cards, and I asked him for the whole stack, and I show him the stack. The business cards.
You got kindling! That's great!
Indeed.
As you pull out the cards, you do see the little Zarius clan marking on it. That seems to immediately come to recognition to you, James. But it does, as you notice, have a little bit of flair as Rolliman holds up the card. The letters sparkle with a little bit of purple light as he holds it up to show it.
Are these things enchanted?
You'd guess by the look of the fact that you just saw a magical effect go off of them, it would make sense.
The fucker spent money enchanting business cards.
Do you use it?
We might be able to use them as small magical batteries, but the amount of magic in there isn't going to be much.
I'll keep a hand on them.
Might go through some interesting effects when we burn them.
As you lot are having this conversation, a few moments go by as you see, for a moment, these tall, dark, red-skinned gentleman. I actually have a screenshot of his face. I would show the rest of the art, but for the sake of half of the people in here who aren't scalies, I don't want to show what my original artist drew when they made this art piece for one of the characters this was based off of. I'll explain it post-campaign who this is originally. But as you see a figure that looks similar with very large, somewhat scales going down each arm, reddish skin, It seems to kind of tint with a bit more gray into it. Long, blackish red hair and two large horns that seem to curl over. As this gentleman comes walking in, you recognize he looks similar to the fellow from the last time you had been in dealing with the water elementals. This looks very similar to the gentleman. I believe his name was.
I think it started with a J.
It did. And I had it a moment. Oh, wait, I have it on my other screen. I don't know.
It is also in the Saturday chat if you scroll up.
Thank you. Give me a minute. I should pull up his thing. Yeah. You see Jack Hicks Morin as he comes walking in. And Pierre, would you like to explain what you look like?
Pierre's
dead?
mute.
I think Pierre died.
Pierre died of fucking heart
I'm
attack.
here.
I fuck it back.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay. You want to describe Pierre?
Yeah. No. Give me a second.
Pierre is having a slight bout of amnesia.
Yeah. No.
I think he's taking
sorry.
his shit.
Alright. No. Sorry. It's technically. Just give me a second. Let me grab it.
Did you not have your sheet pulled up?
No, you pulled up. Give me.
That'd be a no.
This is a many-second.
Oh god. Oh god, he's dying there on the floor. He's twitching.
Yeah, I feel that pain. I had to restart my computer a moment ago, so I feel that.
Okay, no, we're good. We're good.
All right, Pierre, would you like to explain what you look like?
All right. So Pierre, he's an air genasi man. All right, not very tall, probably like 5 feet tall, but he has the longest mustache you have ever seen. It curls like the little, like the little curly mustache where it like loops in circles. He's got that. Yeah,
The
he's
villain
got a
mustache.
huge curly mustache. All right, and he's got like a goatee, like a little tiny goatee. Beautiful, immaculate. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I'm describing because that's all I have.
All right. As you come walking in, Jack Hicks just laughing at some joke as he tries to kind of spark up a conversation with you, telling you about this group of adventurers that had managed to save him. Pierre, this guy just walked up to you when you docked and started chatting you up and walking you towards the town. You didn't didn't have to pay docking fees or anything like that, so it seemed to be a good deal. The guy seems well known. As he's been kind of walking you slowly towards this inn, telling you about this group of adventurers that saved his life and that are truly these great heroes. They're always looking for someone to work with them.
Excellent. Pierre is nodding his head as he tells him this, and he's just like playing with his mustache and at the same exact time. And he just lets him take him there.
Yeah. As you come walking into the inn, you see the large sign out front that says the Last Breath Adventuring Guild. The rather shirtless and very wide Boloff Frostcrusher, a frost giant, who's standing at about 24 feet tall, sitting in a massive chair. Just to give you an idea of how small you are in this comparison, Pierre. As you walk into the inn, not even being tall enough to push the two side doors to the side, as you walk completely under them, alongside this gentleman, who very snaggily dressed, in nobleman's clothing. He looks wealthy as all hell, carrying a bunch of gemstones, diamond rings, a little staff that has a gem that kind of ovulates between a reddish to a pinkish color in its coloration as it shifts. And continues to kind of tell you about this group and their exploits at killing goblins and water elementals. As you enter the inn, though, he just kind of smiles as he points over to the table where you see Roloman, James, and Essa. Do the three of you want to introduce what you look like for Pierre?
Well, who wants to go first?
Let me see. I have the image. I can start off.
Okay, my image.
Essa is a black-scaled dragonkin with green eyes.
Okay.
What?
I said K.
The underside of her scales are like a silverish, along with her claws and she's dressed in like a light armor, with a bow and quiver on her back.
Okay.
I'll go next. James is a 4'6" snow dwarf, meaning he is quite pale, with platinum blonde hair and blue eyes, wearing leather armor, and looks roughly like this, with a nice beard.
He's got a nose a bit bigger than mine.
He is a dwarf.
Do dwarfs have big nose? DM, can you confirm or deny if dwarves have big noses?
Typically, yeah, the stouter folks will have typically more wider and stouter looking noses. So because their faces are typically wider and stouter.
The more you know.
And then Roloman looks a bit like this. He stands at 6'5".
What the?
A bit of elvish features, but also quite burly, but yet nimble. And he has a big ass sword on his back.
Yeah, Pierre, you would note that Roloman in your travels, noting his elven features, is very large for an elf. Most of the ones you've seen, though, again, primitives, like cavemen level of primitives, seem to be quite shorter and also more bloodthirsty looking. Whereas Roloman looks to be
I'm very sophisticated.
civilized.
Curious.
There used to be a term for it. But as you kind of see this for a moment, Pierre, you can't help but think for a moment. Are you familiar with the, give me a second. I'm trying to find the name of it.
Likely no, but...
Probably not, but we can try.
Django. God damn it.
Jenga?
Yeah, have you seen Django, the movie?
Oh, Django. I thought
Yeah.
you said Jenga.
Yeah. So you...
No, I haven't seen Django.
Okay, so the best way to explain is to your perspective, having not traveled with an elf and seeing that James with Roloman immediately, as well as Essa being looking like they're a dragonkin, a well-off dragonkin, is you kind of can't click where Roloman fits into the equation. He could be a slave to either, but you're definitely sure he's a house slave as it clicks into your head looking at him.
Have I ever seen an air genasi before, by the way?
No, none of you would have. Genasis are extremely rare to find outside of their homeland. They do not travel very often. Yes, they are noted as one of the most respected people amongst the dragons, mostly because of their hatred towards gods and willingness to, declare war on gods, which is not normal for a civilization to do, and most other nations look at them as crazy, but in a respectful way, because they've done it.
I'm going to
one.
definitely be clocking Pierre and like getting size him up, see what he's all about.
As you look him up and down, you definitely can get a sense without even rolling. He's definitely well traveled, as he seems to eye you strangely. And you've gotten this look before in your travels. It's not something new to you, Roloman. Seeing this is pretty clear what he's looking at you and kind of thinking as he's looking at the other two. But if you want to try and see how good he is martially, you can give me either a sense motive or, again, if you have martial lore. Or profession mercenary. I'll take either.
Profession mercenary.
Yep.
Please note we all are also dressed in cold weather clothing so that we don't freeze to fucking
Oh,
death.
right. I have my cold.
That's true. Although, do we need it inside, or is it there? I assume it's still cold in here. I'm just...
There we go.
Yeah, you'd be wearing it. Yeah, you'll be wearing it pretty much your entire time while you're here. Because it's still frosty when you're out on the streets and stuff. Like it's warmer because it's hospitable for like most mammals. But to those who are scaled, it feels like it's freezing everywhere.
Correct.
There's not much of a difference between in here and outside, other than death. That's really the main thing. To those,
Essa, your blowpipe your blowgun can warm or cool certain things, so you can try that out if you need.
This is a lifeline.
But as you walk in, Pierre, with Jack Hicks, he kind of smiles at you with his very fanged smile and just kind of goes to shake your hand as he kind of brings you, or kind of like letting you go to talk to these people, getting ready to like leave as it seems. As he kind of waits for you to reach out, expecting it, you notice kind of the corner of your eye, or as another party comes walking down and kind of sits down for breakfast, seeing the other group from Sunday, who, while they look mostly as a group of fire giant mixture or combos, most of them don't really catch your attention, Pierre, as they look unimpressive and uninteresting. You've seen fire giants everywhere. It's nothing new.
Okay. Listen, I'm much more interested in the elf with the slave.
The elf with the slave?
No. The assumption is that Roloman, the elf, is the slave. Yes.
Oh, I thought that. Oh,
No.
You think the elf?
You think I'm a slave?
Yeah, you're not sure if it's Essa or James.
I thought the way you worded it, to me, it sounded like that
No.
Roloman was the.
No.
Oh wait,
Well,
Roloman.
you're the only
Okay.
one that thought that.
Yeah,
so-
he looks like a house slave, basically, from your interpretation. Yeah. But as Jack Hicks kind of goes to shake your hand, he kind of excuses himself away from you, Pierre, and seems to kind of head out out of the inn in a little bit more of a rush than usual. But you do notice Essa, James, and Rollman looking over your direction.
With the guy that rushed out, I'm gonna lean over to Roland and go, "Was that the guy that didn't fucking pay you guys for saving his life?"
To be fair, I did save his life. It was the scout from the other party. And I gestured to them over there, since their party's
I'll make
here.
sure to put that on the ledger and get them right payment for them.
It's going in the book.
I got a 15 for my check, by the way.
15. As you look Pierre up and down, there's something about him that tells you he's dangerous, but you can't pinpoint. Nothing about him looks dangerous. He looks normal in every single way, besides his magnificent mustache. That's a little unusual, but everything else screams normal, weak, average. But something in the back of your head is saying not to mess with this guy. Something that's kind of led you in the right direction before.
To me, that means spellcaster. You know.
He is, I believe, wearing armor and carrying a shield and stuff.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. So Pierre does look like an actual normal adventurer, but he looks very thin-armed to you in comparison. But yes, as you kind of get the assumption that he is a caster, looking him up and down, that's a pretty safe bet. Or he was a very weak fighter that got kicked out of his troop. But as Pierre comes walking over to your guys' table, kind of interrupting as James is going through, kind of setting down the items he crafted. Pierre walks up to the table.
I'm just gonna side on him.
Oh, how much did you pay for this one? As I just nudge Roloman.
So James has the merchant smile on. Oh, nothing. He's my bodyguard. He's a good friend of mine. For years he's been that way.
And partner.
Yeah.
I look over.
And now he's my business partner.
Oh, I'm
James. Ironheart Merchant Company. How do you do?
Yeah, as I extend my hand, waiting.
James is
shake
gonna
it.
take it and give him a strong handshake.
Pierre's is not very strong, but he's gonna try his best.
What's your strength?
Uh,
Let's get the merchant's hand.
14.
Handshake.
We have the same strength.
Yeah, you two shake hands, feeling your manliness tested against one another. You both think that you both are very strong in comparison.
Of course.
Well, I'm a smith. I have to be strong.
Sure.
He's Pierre. Of course he's strong. What do you mean? That's exactly
do for you,
it. I heard that you might be in need of assistance.
Well, first we have to finish this one little job we have and see what the town has to offer. We may need some assistance with some of the other jobs.
If you're willing to take me on, I would love to do so. I'm very much interested in you guys.
Why is that? And I'll get up to shake your hand. Name's Roloman.
Stands over a foot taller than you.
Apologies for thinking you were his slave, by the way. As I go ahead and extend my hand, you just seem interesting to me, and I'm looking for a little bit of entertainment, one could say.
I see.
Yeah. Simple.
Essa, you still giving him the side eye?
Yeah, but guess
I'm gonna-
I'll get up and shake his hand.
I'm gonna shake Essa's hand as well, and I'm just gonna cock my head a little bit, and I'm like, "You don't trust me yet. That's okay. I'll wait."
I mean, it's kind of my job not to trust most people.
I understand. I respect that. Take your time.
You know, I've never seen a Genasi before.
Mm.
You're not very common.
Well, you see, we don't tend to go out very much. But, you know, I'd like to see things, and I'd like to get to know the world a little better, have a little fun here and there.
That's something we can
Expect
agree
it.
on.
Yeah, expect to see me quite frequently. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be everywhere.
Well, if we run into each other enough, maybe I'll offer you a job.
Might be interested. We'll see.
As you lot, or as Pierre joins you sitting down at the table. By the way, Essa and Roland, are you going to be showing James the cloak you got, or are you going to be holding on to that out of curiosity?
Now that Pierre's here, I'm not going to show it.
No? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, because I just need to go get it quietly identified later. Probably not.
Okay.
They
Fair.
would have
can
said
walk.
they found something they need identified. James would have been like, go pay for that. I
I'll
can't
just.
do that yet.
Yeah, I can run off and get it identified.
Okay. Yeah, you lot, as you sit around the table, kind of starting to get to know each other, contemplating what you want to do. What would you all like to do?
First, let's go finish the delivery of this letter here. We have to take it over to
Thrid.
yeah, at the Fool's workshop.
See if he's recovered from his rage, I believe is what
Reading?
it was.
I believe
I
it's
think he
something
got
to do with the
beat.
page.
But let's go turn this into him and get the rest of the reward, and then we should be able to take on some of the jobs here.
We'll go look at the quest board after that.
Okay.
If you guys
I
want
already
to
took a
in
look at it.
the letter, I have to get my thing identified, and I have to go pick something up that I
We
put
can
points
handle
in.
delivery while you're off, but I think I think you should take Rollman with you just because. No offense, you're a Dragonkin in Frost Giant territory. Someone starts shit with you, it's quickly.
You know, like, kobolds are common here. We live right next to the kobold lands. There's a lot of people that look at me that live right nearby. Some of them live in this land.
Has there been enough kobolds in the city for us to be...
There's a couple here and there. I will note that the many of the frost giants that are in the tavern, kind of going about their business, do seem to be eyeing up Pierre, giving him a bit of a wider berth, but seeming to kind of have a strange look of respect towards him, as far as it goes. But yeah, you have seen some kobolds popping about. Most of them not treated the greatest by the frost giants, but not horrendously treated.
I think Essa could handle themselves. I'll stick with you, James.
Alright, be safe then. As James will get up and look at it. Once everybody's ready, get up and head to deliver this letter to Thrid.
As Pierre just stands there watching you lot just basically decide to split up, looking at you, wondering where to go.
Pierre
Follow
can
us. Follow us, Pierre.
Okay.
Like, look between the two. Yeah.
No, he was just looking back and forth, both of them splitting up, and he's like, back and forth, back and forth.
Where's my name here?
Remember, so that stone works within 150 feet. So, if you need us, you can say something into it, and we should be able to get to you if we're close enough.
So we'll just nod. And I'm gonna go walking, looking for someone to get the cloak identified first.
Okay. Alright. Let's see. So let's start with where are alright, yeah, let's start with Essa. Makes it easy. Essa, where are you going in the town to get your stuff identified?
I mean, I'm gonna try to find that magic shop. I want to see if it's been replaced. Although Essa doesn't know that, but
Yeah.
oh, if there's a new
no,
guy.
we saw it when we came into town.
Oh yeah, that it was closed. Yeah. Time to find out.
Okay. As you head into town, heading back up towards the previous magic shop that had been set up, now nothing but a building somewhat just closed up and in ruins, or at least so you expected. As you come towards the entrance, finding the magic shop, though still with a massive sign saying it's closed, much of the shelves being torn up, the gold from the walls being stripped down by some guards. One of the guards seems to be playing with a gold strip by trying to smack it and stick it to another guard's back. A frost giant kind of comes walking out for a moment, or what you think for a second is a frost giant in the darkness due to his width, but as he gets closer, his stoutness kind of catches your attention, and out comes Roten, which I believe you met last time, correct? Or no?
No.
That was Sunday Sunday's group had met him.
Yeah.
Yes, as you see this very wide-looking hill giant who comes out, massive forearms, wearing what looks to be full captain of the guards, full plate and everything, with a strange marking in giant on his chest. Do you speak giant by chance?
I do. I believe all of Saturday speaks giant.
Yes.
You do. You do read, it says, Cod Klinge? I believe is how it's pronounced.
I think
And it looks to, as you kind of get a closer look at the design of it, you see a little mimic chest on his, right beneath it, as he comes walking up, seeing you with the cloak in hand. As he kind of pushes the door aside, you hear it kind of bends on its hinges with his immense strength. Only standing a few feet taller than you, he looks at you with a puzzled look as he takes his helmet off and kind of sits off to the side, wiping his brow. Darkened skin, very short brown cut hair, brown eyes, very average looking for a hill giant.
Hey there.
Can I be of any assistance? Do you have a complaint, or did Regan Utham send you by chance?
No. Just looking for somewhere to get an item identified.
You've come to the right place. We're setting up the shop now. It's going to be an extension on the guild. I can assist you if you'd like.
Yes, please.
For identify, it's not normal for many of people to get around here for this. Kind of takes a second, looks at the item, and goes, it'll be about 100 gold pieces to do it, if you don't mind.
Yeah, easily done.
He takes the 100 gold, and as you see, he puts it onto the cloak and starts to cast a spell, and you watch as the gold evaporates away. As he kind of, the cloak begins to light up, and he looks at you and goes, "Oh, you found a cloak of resistance. It's a very simple enchantment for it. This would be a cloak of resistance +1 for reference. And I will send you what it does. Basically, this gives you a +1 to your fortitude, reflex, and will. It's worth it's about worth 1,000 gold pieces overall. And from what you can tell, this thing still looks to be very well handcrafted. There's no individual marking though that he points out, and there is not a curse on the item.
Awesome. And then since I'm not used to the town yet, I'll just ask if he knows where I can buy cartography supplies to make map for just map making.
Well, I'd say the guild is probably your better bet these days, but you could try Nitwits. They may have something in there, but I think the guild themselves will probably be your better bet. They'll give you decent prices, unless you know the Woodwalkers. In that case, offer them for everything. They buy everything in bulk, and so they'll sell it for half off.
Woodwalkers are dead, man. Fuck.
I don't think Essa knows the Woodwalkers. At least I don't think she's met any of them. So I guess
You did.
Those were-
You did meet
that was
Laura.
the-
You did meet Laura Woodwalker.
The
The
guy who fucking
Captain
died.
yeah.
The owner.
Well,
the original
yeah,
owner
we
of
met the
Ironheart.
one that fucking died. That's not
And
very
his brother.
helpful.
And his brother. That was
That also died.
Hmm.
That doesn't really help.
He just
Yeah,
kind
I
of.
guess I'm killed.
Alright. As you start heading back towards the guild, for a moment you see the group, the rest of the group up on the higher story or higher floors, up at entering Nitwits. As you also notice some figure in the distance, kind of jumping down the streets one after another, almost as if they're trying to escape. As guards seem to be chasing them past. As you head towards the guild. As you do so, though, for a moment, you also notice as the person seems to be jetting towards the guild and towards a figure you recognize, Jack Hicks Morin, who's sitting out front talking to the very large, shirtless guild owner.
Well, I guess this is the thing about deal with while heading towards the guild. Sure, why not?
We
Let's
will
see
come back to you in a moment, Essa, for that.
Alright.
Roll 'em in, Pierre and James. As you lot kind of get up and start heading out of the guild, you said you were going to be going to Nitwits to deliver the letter?
Yep.
Alright. Drag and Pierre were along to show him the sights and kind of show him around the town. Also, as you lot are still fairly new, a few of the Frost Giants seem to stop and kind of speak with Pierre, giving like respectful bows, some saying some sort of strange blessing in Primordial. Most of them seeming to be very respectful towards Pierre, though not as if they know him personally. But as you lot continue walking through the streets, this happens a few times. Pierre, them all, each of them giving you a word of encouragement and thank you for protecting them from all the gods' evil wrath. All of the said in Primordial as you pass by. This is not normal treatment, but at the same time, you've never been to a Frost Giant city before, so you're not 100% sure what's acceptable and what's not.
Of course, yeah. He's just gonna do any sort of whatever the customary Genasi sign of respect back to them.
Yeah,
Whatever
as
that might be.
you return, just bowing and basically telling them that you do this just to protect the world, not to just save individuals, and that it's not needed for any thanks. Many of them seem to still give you quite the respect as they continue on.
Do the phrases they say sound like rehearsed, like it's just a saying in Primordial they know, or does it sound like they know the language and are saying in,
Many of them do seem to be
Personalized.
saying the same chant, Rollman and James. It's almost the exact same wording with a couple of miss-ups here and there, but it's, from what you can tell, seems to be the same. And as you hear Pierre respond back in the same language for a moment, he also sounds very rehearsed.
I see.
But as they... Huh?
Jeez.
Hmm?
Just lots of practice talking going on.
As you lot, though, continue to make your way up towards Nitwits, getting your way all the way up to the top floor of the, side streets, as you're coming down the main street, passing by a few other Frost Giants that stop and do this once again. James and Roman at this point kind of getting tired of it. Pierre's also seeming to be a little annoyed now that this is happening every few seconds. As this last group kind of stops to do so, as you lot are looking on, give me a spot check, all three of you. Spot is one of your skills, Pierre, for reference.
Okay.
Make sure I'm adding the right bonus to this.
Oh yeah.
Where's that?
It's gonna be an S.
I'm mostly focused on
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Here.
I promise. I promise.
If you're looking on, it should be on the right side. It should be the one that has like
That's
perform and stuff like that. Yeah.
I see it.
It'll be right underneath your spellcraft.
That's
yeah.
a 7.
You rolled a 7. Ouch.
I steal.
So as Roman and Pierre are like kind of annoyed and focused on this group kind of doing things, Roman kind of watching out, focusing on making sure no other gloom are gonna be spotted or guards with pitchforks that seem to think water is capable of being picked up. James, focusing ahead at what's going on, just kind of looking about the city. It's still on edge after with everything having gone on in the recent days. Traveling here and being ambushed and everything, not knowing when those storm giants may one day come back to attack you. You kind of decide to spend your time looking about as the group are talking, and as for a moment you look to the side, you catch the look of a strange frost giant that looks similar to the ones that Rollerman and Essa were traveling with earlier. The one that doesn't carry any weapons or anything like that. As they go vaulting over the railing, guards chasing them, Thrid coming out and waving his fist angrily. You see as he seems to also look like he's covered in blood from head to toe as the figure goes charging down the side roads and finally escapes towards the guild.
I'm guessing he doesn't quite run past me.
No, he literally pole vaulted over the side railing down to the lower street and then did it again down to the bottom street.
I'll walk up to Third and go, "You okay there, my friend?" And Giant.
He looks over at you and goes, "He just killed my fucking son! No, I'm gonna..." And you see him going for a dagger at his side, as he pulls it out and starts pulling a little vial of red liquid out of it and starts getting ready to clamp down on it. Go ahead. Yes, James?
Not gonna stop him. I'm just gonna be like, "Well, bad timing for us to deliver the letter then. Shit."
He kind of looks at you and stops for a second and goes, "What letter?"
I hold up the letter to him.
You kind of see him focus his glasses down and look at the thing as he's just steaming with anger. Blood on his hands is shaking as the guards are chasing this person off. You can see Thread for a moment. There's a little flash across his eyes as Pierre and Rollerman come kind of walking up now, having gotten rid of the two other guests. Thread kind of calms as he looks at Pierre for a second and looks over at you. James goes, "Oh, you're with them. I guess I won't have to take any action. Fine." And he kind of looks over the letter and starts reading it. Goes, "He really thought I was still running a last breath." Kind of takes the glasses off, and you.
Time for news for travel in this age.
As he takes the glasses off, he goes, "You follow," and he turns and walks in.
I will follow.
I whispered to James, what did I miss?
I delivered the letter, and Thread's son was just killed by that asshole. Might be good if you go help track him down. Or keep an eye out at least. Make sure he doesn't come back.
Did you get a look at who it was?
It looked like a frost giant that was in the group was it with the group that they left with the other day?
Fire giant in this case, and yes. Looked like
It looked like one of the fire giants you left with the other day.
Can you be specific?
The one that doesn't wield anything.
I assume that's Maya's.
Yeah, you recognize that immediately as Domnander.
Interesting. That one seemed to really love the Frost Giant King. I don't know why they do something like this.
Third kind of angrily steps over a body that looks like it just got torn up. It looks shredded, like a someone just came through with some claws and cut through it. As you kind of walk by it, the smell is awful. As it seems to already reek. Yeah.
Can I ascertain what fucking killed it? Like, what kind of wounds?
Looking over the many claw and knife stabbings, it doesn't take a heal check to count the 42 stab marks, just slash marks across this body. This was violent. Yeah, it was definitely violent. If you want more, if you're trying to get more detail than that, it'd be a heal check.
Sure, why not?
You know what? I'll give a heal check for this.
Pierre, you're looking over this body. Are you wanting to do anything, or are you just kind of eyeing this up and wondering what's going on?
Pierre is chilling. So no, he's not wondering.
Well, damn, I'm a little more distracted in the fact that I just calmed down a very angry giant.
James, as you focus over towards the still shaking with violence, large and strong-looking frost giant, Rollman, kind of eyeing it up and looking over the body, you found enough battlefields and enough hunts to recognize this creature was killed. This was by a person, and the weapon they used, it definitely looks to have been some either magical or they had to be a very fast cut, because the way the marks are so close together, how it's spread out, and the viciousness of it, it looks like this was personal and that someone just went at them. The no break. This was rage.
There's no way it was, the monk.
Not unless the monk has claws. Which you didn't get a good enough look at the monk's hands to be able to know if they had claws or not.
And I didn't really see them fight that much, did I?
No, the few you did, you saw was a few punches against, I think, one spider, and that was it.
But she could be gloom from the looks of it.
As you mention the word gloom, you see Thrid's eyes snap up and goes, "They're still here," as he puts his glasses back down.
I can't say if they are or not, but...
They're with the group. You see as he kind of, as he stands up, pulling the arm off his chair with his as his hand curls around it.
I'll be honest. I have no idea. They're too green to know if there's a gloom among them or not.
You see him calm for a second slightly and goes, "The only reason I'm not ripping their heads off right now is because you have him with you," as he kind of nudges his head towards Pierre. Pierre looking completely confused, not knowing what's going on.
Pierre gives a peace sign.
And thank you for your patience.
Yes. He looks at the peace sign and then hears James say that and just goes, "I see he's already already preparing for the ritual. It's fine. What that man will go through will be far worse than what I could do to him. What can I do for you? And please keep it simple and short. Otherwise, is it just the payment for this job?"
That's all we're gonna ask for right now. I think you have enough on your plate, given what just happened.
You see his nose still flaring out. He kind of takes a second and goes, "How much did he say he was paying for this?"
I will be honest, he paid half up front, 150. You said you'd pay the other 150 when we were upon delivery.
He pulls out he kind of digs into his pockets and pulls out 15 platinum pieces and sets them down.
I'll pick them up and put them away for now, to be divided later.
He looks at you and goes, "That's what he should have paid you for that kind of a trip you just went through."
I just give a shrug and go, "Yeah, but kinda got some more out of it than we bargained for anyways on the trip here."
Kind of looks about and the three of you again and goes, "So what can I do for you for business otherwise? I assume you're not here just to get more information for the ritual."
I'll be honest, we have not been here very long. I do not know what this ritual is.
He looks at you and goes, "Your compatriot."
Oh, he decided to follow us around today. He arrived in town, I think, very recently.
Yeah? Do you know this ritual?
There's a ritual?
Pierre, you recognize this as pretty common. Most other races assume that when your people show up, that you are there to basically kill anything that is evil or godly, that has typically betrayed the mortals and the people there. So your people are looked on as godsends of war. You are the guardian angels of people. Even if you look at this more as, well, this is just where mortals are. There's gods to kill.
There's no ritual happening. Not today. At least. We're good. Don't worry about it.
You see the shorter but very wide and strong looking frost giant eyes open once again, glaring over at you and go, "You're going to let my son's killer get away with this?"
No, I never said that.
He calms down again as he kind of sits back down. It's fine. Now, you said you've got your ritual question. You ask your friend there what it is. It's his people's thing. I'm not out of respect for their culture and the warriors that they are, I'm not allowed, or I will not speak of it. as I would butcher the true concept behind it with nothing but what is rumored, if you will. As he seems to now suddenly talk very smoothly and pointedly with his glasses, like reading glasses, now staring at you, Roloman.
Mm-hmm. And if I remember, this place is where we look at the quest board, right?
No, this is the smithy. Nitwits is a smithy. They sell weapons, armor, and clothing, as you do see a weave off to the side.
Well, I do not require anything. I'm just here to accompany the letter.
And currently, I don't need to make any purchases either. Although beautiful, it looks like your smithy is in impeccable condition. There, but I apologize for your loss, and I wish you the best in assisting. I wish you the best in resolving this, and we will help however we can. You may call upon the Ironheart Merchant Company whenever you need.
He looks at you and goes, "Do you have a business card or something that I can?"
I will pull out one of the few small slips that aren't. I don't have enchanted ones, but that I would have readied up and just hand it to him.
He takes it and goes. You see him put it into a little bag as he pulls out this leather sack. A couple other cards in there, and he puts it back into a shelf and goes, "I will keep you in as a future business notable." He kind of looks about. "Now, if your business is done, I must attend to my son's." You see tears start to roll down his face as the blood vessels also start to grow larger, his face growing redder, as I deal with the body of my son.
Of course.
I just give a solemn nod.
Depart.
We'll usher the other two out as we leave.
Yeah.
I know ushering. Thank you very much.
Yeah, as all three of you come out to see, coming out of the smithy, we're gonna pop away from you a lot for a moment. Pop back over to Essa. Essa, as you.
Are we within 150 feet of the guild?
Oh yeah, easily. Oh yeah.
I will whisper into the stone, Essa, the figure jumping, just killed Thread's son. If you can stop them, do something.
Essa will get back. I'm already on the hunt, and she's kind of just sprinting already.
Oh, I will immediately say, Essa, that might be a glue. Don't pursue, please.
You hear the correction. Essa running down the street, I imagine, just coming to a cartoonish stop. As
No, she just goes, I'll keep my distance. There's other people chasing her a lot closer than me.
Okay.
Okay.
You watch as the guards continue chasing the person around the guild behind one of the side columns. You do notice the bard from earlier in the noble clothing talking to Bolov out front. Kind of takes note, looking over to the side. Bolov looks a little more shocked, but neither of the two seem to move. As you continue to follow Essa around, are you trying not to be spotted, or are you just kind of staying far enough back?
I'm just staying far enough back, because no matter if they notice me, I'm not going to be their first prerogative if I'm not the closest.
That's fair. All right. As you kind of...
throw on the cloak.
As you kind of continue down, following after, about 10 minutes of this goes by. As you hear, or as you continue to follow after the guards, keeping a decent distance from them, expecting them to follow the target. As the guards eventually seem to have come to an end, into a dead alley, looking completely confused, as they all turn, looking towards you. Give me a hide check real quick, unless you're trying to be, or you don't care if you're spotted.
I'll just let them see me.
Okay.
I'm not hiding anything.
The four Frost Giant guards turn as they look over at you, and one of them kind of, a little stockier, comes walking up to you, still armed with his spear in hand, shield on the other, looks at you, kind of pointing the spear as he's about 5 feet or 10 feet from you, and goes, "Are you that assassin we were chasing?" As he says this in Giant.
No, I was following behind you because I saw you chasing someone.
You see one of the other guards kind of taps him on the shoulder and goes, "That's the one that's part of that group that was with Dom and them that went." And you see him kind of, the two kind of start talking to each other.
I'm gonna try to stare. I want to look up and see if they're just above.
As you do, give me a spot check.
Fucking dead and out.
And for some saliva to drop from the ceiling.
Let's see. Spot down here. 27 for a nat 20.
As you look up, you look about, you see something that catches your eye for a moment. You see a blanket over what looks to be some sort of broom, just at the corner of the roof, enough to easily be spottable, and you immediately see as the wind just catches the broom, the cloth, pushing it away, just enough to catch that it's a fake as you look over to the side, or as you look back down and see on the back of one of the guards is a little, like, child-looking frost giant holding on in full black robes, looking as if they are trying to hide.
It's on your back!
As you say this, they all turn, and you hear, "Hut!" And suddenly, the person, or you watch as some sort of shadow comes jumping down, grabbing onto the child, and disappears up onto the roof, running off. The guards look just as confused, and you start hearing one of them giving the one who had the creature on its back a lot of crap.
Couldn't even feel that thing on your back? What are you, frozen?
I'm gonna go check the guild to see if Dom is still there.
Yeah. As you turn back, heading back towards the one of the back windows to look in, just not trying to catch anybody's attention, a few minutes pass of you walking or heading back, and as you do, you come into a scene where you see Jakix, a very young-looking frost giant woman that has a bandage covering her eyes, that seems to be carrying a very large like necklace. It looks like a gravestone on her chest. And seems to be dressed like a holy woman as she is smiling, and you see Jakix as well as Boloff standing there now, yelling at the Sunday party. As you look about, you do see Dom sitting there looking horrified.
I'm gonna whisper into the item. All of the other party is accounted for. They're all still in the guild. So
We'll be there shortly if you can step in before we get back.
I mean, I'll keep an eye on them.
Dom. We'll say that.
Alright.
Someone was impersonating Dom.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Dom
was-
looks like the
That's
left.
what said.
Yes, so we'll go try and clear this up.
Yeah. As you both sides of the party start heading towards the guild, as to kind of getting there first, the rest of the group kind of coming up behind. Essa, as you try to enter, you see as Jakix from earlier seems to be kind of standing in the doorway, not really letting you past, as he kind of seems to walk up as you get up to the door and kind of tries to keep starting up a conversation. As every time you try to like get past him, he seems to kind of take a step in that direction, purposely blocking you.
The second time it happens, I'm just like, all right, what's the game here?
As the second time you see the rest of your party coming down, and you see as Jakix's eyes kind of look over to the rest of the group, not immediately catching something, but he looks very nervous suddenly as he starts to sweat slightly, looking at you, and goes, no, it's nothing. My compatriots in there is being accused of some evil deeds about somebody's mother. I don't know. They're telling my friend, who's nothing but a cleric, that she has no right to be here and stuff like that. I have no clue. And then Boloff comes in yelling about something about him being traitors, about Dom killing someone, and he told me to stand out here and make sure no one came in. And I don't want to be rude to you, but I also can't let you pass.
Wait, cleric?
Yes.
Bandages over the eyes?
Uh-huh.
Didn't they blow up the clinic?
Because my friend has not blown up a clinic. She's only just arrived here.
I heard Utham was roaring and angry and...
Yes. I've heard that he is looking for Magra. Yes, the older frost giant lady that runs everything. Yes. He kind of smells. James, Roman, and Pierre walking up as they hear this.
I'm short. How much taller is this man than me?
Let me pull up. He is only 5'8".
He can't block all three of us if we try to walk through at the same time.
And
All
we're
four.
walking through. I'm just gonna be like,
first,
go in. Come on.
No, before that, I'm going to whisper in the thing. I'm going to test and make sure it's actually Jack Hicks.
Okay.
And I walk to him. Jack Hicks. I remember last we met. Yes.
He kind of looks at you and goes, "I think so. Maybe."
Yes.
You
Well,
were you with the group that saved me? I don't think we spoke much.
yes. What was the group's name again?
The Sunday group. You're part of the Ironheart Merchant Company, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I gave you my cards. You asked for all of my cards, which
Yes.
I did appreciate that, by the way. I got a bonus because my boss thought I handed them all out. Thank you.
You're welcome for that.
He goes, did you find the little prestidigitation that I enthused each one with quite interesting?
I did. It is very nifty.
Thank you. It was a personal touch. By the way, why do you have an Air Genasi with you? He's not, as he kind of like pulls at his collar slightly. He's not here for, any, yeah. He kind of hears
Maybe
you.
for a ritual. I don't know.
Kind of looks at
He was
Pierre
very
and goes,
vague.
good sir, how do you do? Yeah, are you here today to kill any gods?
As I'm guessing he's stepping past James and Roland.
No, he is not. And he has, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think he can beat you in reflex.
The doors are really wide, right?
Oh yeah, these are for frost giants, yeah. He can't block the whole
James,
thing.
walk to the far right, I'll walk to the far left.
Yeah, I'll walk to the far right. Yeah, let's go.
God damn it, and you see him snap his fingers as suddenly something starts pushing you both backwards slightly. And he goes, "Can you not do that? I was trying to have a pleasant conversation with your friends." Give me a reflex save from Essa and James.
Let me in.
Essa and James, give me a reflex to
Back
see if
in
you
for
get
second
past.
breakfast. What the fuck you doing?
Well, this is happening. I'm looking inside, making and seeing what's happening inside.
Okay. Pierre, are you doing anything during this? Or are you just watching?
Pierre is
Do I
just
s-
observing right now, having a blast.
Can I see the guild
Okay.
leader from where I'm standing?
19 reflex. Okay. James, you do, and he is still yelling at the Sunday party and like
I'm
very
going to-
enthused into it.
Just quietly point, and I'm gonna cast message.
Uh.
Dom didn't do it.
Mhm.
Person ran off. Dom was still in the guild hall the entire time.
You see.
They are,
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
they are innocent.
You see for a second, man's not Bolov not being a man of great charisma and capability to hide his emotions. You immediately see the stupid like stare into space to register what was just told to him, and then goes back to yelling, continuing almost as if the message didn't even come through. And you see as Essa jumps to the side, James not even trying to avoid the pushback. Essa, you feel something shoves you back still. Yeah, go ahead and give me a reflex, James.
No, I'll get pushback.
Okay. Yeah, and he goes, again, I can't, I have to insist. And as you look around, Rollman, inside there, you see, give me a search check. Because I imagine you're looking for anything out of place after having been here twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After having been here and having scouted enough to keep me safe.
Let's see what he gets.
13.
As you look about, you do notice, Bolov has a strange tattoo on his side that he's clearly not, he's not trying to hide it, but he's definitely not trying to let, it seems he keeps trying to turn at a slight angle every time the, Dom seems to get closer to him.
And he definitely did not have this tattoo.
Before he didn't have any markings on his body besides like scars and such. He's a pretty large dude and he's pretty brightly colored. It'd be pretty noticeable. And as you look at it, you notice the tattoo is of a gravestone that looks to have been marked on the side of like his hip that he keeps kind of like turning every time Dom comes close. Kind of comes into eyesight of it.
Did Sunday tell us what the markings on the gloom look like?
No, they did not. I don't even think they mentioned what the clan that they were part of that they killed.
I don't think so.
So, nope.
All right. I've not seen this working before anywhere.
You can give me a knowledge religion, or if you don't have that, you just give me a knowledge check in general for it.
Okay. That's a nat 20 for 23.
I know what this is, DM. I just need an in-character reason.
Don't fucking fuck with me on that. I got you.
I
Well,
try.
All right. With a 23, and what was this for? Or what was the roll exactly?
To know what this marking is.
Okay. Was this knowledge religion? Just as what I meant, or is this just knowledge?
Well, it would be just knowledge.
Just knowledge. Okay. Because there's a different DC for both, depending on. 23. As you think about it for a moment, Roman, in your history and your experience, there's no reason that you would know of this marking. However, something kind of sparks for a moment from your martial knowledge, and you recognize this symbol similar to some of the warriors you've seen, on very rare occasion, wandering like oath takers who have like cracked versions of this, like as a necklace, similar to this tattoo with their names marked on it, and usually the gravestone is like cracked in half into two pieces. Symbolizing, from what you were able to gather in your travels, to be probably some sort of oath breaker, someone who broke their holy symbol to show the significance of not being part of that god anymore. You know that they're usually malformed looking, and that they're quite capable, but you're not 100% sure what the religion's about, the god it's to. You just know that typically those who are worshippers or have this mark use evil magic.
All right. I smile to Jack Hicks. Is like, you're right. This is none of our business, and we'll be going.
I'd like to put forward the comedy that I also.
Is that nobility or religion?
I have neither. That's just knowledge.
Knowledge.
I don't.
Same. Oh, you got the same answer. Markings. It looks you've seen travelers with the thing before, but again, it's so rare in between that you wouldn't know much about them.
Because I've been to the Kobold Lands. I know what this is.
Pierre, would you like to try, or are you just watching and listening to this?
Sure, Pierre, I'll give it a shot.
I know Pierre's got to have a good knowledge religion.
Oh yeah, he's got.
I'll give it even a shot.
Yeah, Pierre's
Well,
got.
DM, unless you want to say he has that as a skill, that doesn't come with his class.
Exactly. So
I'll tell you what.
To be fair, all of my skills are in class, so like,
Yeah.
I can take up ranks in them, but I just don't have any ranks in religion.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, go ahead and roll for just an intelligence check in this case then.
Cool.
I'll do my roll for religion as well.
Because I imagine Rollman would have kind of whispered this into the message, into the earring to let them know, and then point this out to Pierre.
Nat 20
Look at that.
Okay.
for 23.
An
And
immaculate number.
That's 3 nat 20s in a row,
I got a
boys. From 3
5.
people.
5.
Everyone.
Pierre, you're distracted with something else. You're enjoying the comedy. This is the first time you've had friends in a while to travel with. This is actually quite interesting to
friends.
watch.
He's
Yeah.
also looking at his own little pocket mirror he has.
Yeah.
His mustache occasionally.
Yeah, got to keep that mustache oiled well. You know, it takes a lot to keep the curl. Wind is not an easy thing to keep well and in place. It blows the mustache hairs, even though the mustache hairs are made of wind. It's a whole thing.
It's crazy.
James, is that knowledge religion?
Yes, that's knowledge religion with a nat 20.
As Roman kind of points, like whispers this into the thing without Jakix kind of noticing, as Essa is continuously trying to dodge side to side, trying to get past him. James, you kind of looking over at it, you recognize this as one of Oat's markings. Oat is a god of, well, basically evil is the simplest way to put it. To put the full of what you would know about him, give me 1 second, let me pull up the information. So you would know he's mostly worshipped by kobolds. He is technically considered an evil domain god, only usually followed by kobold kin and fire giants. He does usually carry on spiked chains as his preferred item for his followers. And Surprisingly, he's one of the few gods that actually has a full holy order that are actually extremely capable in battle and are usually considered to be quite dangerous. With 600 paladins and 200 monks to their name, and 3 apparently high-ranked members that are considered the king of the kobolds' personal bodyguard. So.
With all that, I would have said what I said about, like, you're right, this is none of our business, and I'll grab Essa's shoulder and be like, we should just leave them to their business.
As we go to leave, I will point back one last time and send off one message, aiming directly at the party leader.
Mm-hmm.
The other cleric, and go, you're dealing with oats. Have fun. Be safe.
Give me a second.
And your monk friend there, the unarmed one, has been framed.
As you do this, you watch as Jakix's horns slightly glow for a moment, and you feel, James, your spell does not go off.
I look at Jakix. If you're gonna frame them,
I cover his mouth right now.
Jakix looks over as he says that. I'm gonna roll to see if he even notices you saying that, because he is not at all paying attention to you.
he's looking at something else.
But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give him a listen check to see if he notices that. Oh, you are not going to be happy about this. He kind of looks over and goes, excuse me, what was that? Oh, he looks over at you, Roman, as you cover his mouth and goes, merchant's folly. They never do know when to keep their mouth shut, do they? As he kind of gives a really big, toothy smile to you, Roman.
Yes. Sometimes their mouth hangs loose. It helps when you have someone like me to help keep the deals tight. You know what I get my saying.
You feel a strange eeriness as you get those words off, as the rest of you start to get the same feeling as the very young and beautiful frost giant giantess comes walking out, still in her full holy garb. She just kind of smiles and waves at you, at each of you, as she looks over at Jakix and whispers something in his ear, and he goes, I agree with you, Roloman. You're a wise businessman if I've ever seen one. You have a good day. I have things to attend to. It looks like.
Touch me if you try to touch me, by the way.
Oh, they're all there. You guys are like 20 feet from them. They're not getting any closer from you. Yeah. He just kind of like turns and with his female cleric and starts walking towards the exit of the city, where you see a large opening ice cave that looks to just have a jumping area. No signs of like stairs going down or anything of that sort. Though you do notice little scorch marks around the exit cave. But they seem to head off in that general direction and then disappear off the side, looking like as if they descend the stairs. I imagine Roman kind of turn James around with the rest of the party, start walking, kind of eyeing them up as you walk away.
Yep, we're going the other way. We're going to turn a corner, and then I'm going to explain things only into the stone. Be extra safe, you know.
Pierre, who stands there not hearing anything. There's only 3 stones.
He can be blissfully ignorant it for all I care.
He's staring in a mirror. He's fine.
He is enamored with himself, I'm sure.
Distracting himself with the jingly keys.
Pierre still.
I comment to him. Nice mustache, by the way. And I'll continue talking.
This is like, yes, I've been working on it for many years at this point.
It seems to naturally kind of like flex as he starts talking about it a little bit with the wind.
So, that man earlier did not have that symbol. It leads me to say that cleric probably forced him into some sort of holy deal, and us being there was very dangerous, as we might have been forced into such service as well, which is why I asked us to leave, especially as Jakix is in on it.
That's fair and fine. I feel bad about leaving potential customers out to dry like that, though.
We couldn't do anything.
I mean, we could go up and tell Thrid that it was done by them.
I think we should probably go to Utham instead.
Oh,
what did you say,
get that audience with them.
Essa, you said there was the person was blind and a cleric as well.
Well, it was their oats. Their god is oats. Kobold god of evil. Kobold evil deity, usually worshipped by kobolds and fire giants. hurricanes.
Oh.
Not a great time.
Yes, we should go straight to them about this. If we are to do anything about it, we could do
No.
nothing telling another party of... And they're green, by the way. Telling them wouldn't have done anything.
Maybe would have gotten them to scatter.
Your haste would have kept them easily in as he kept us out.
Fair. Let's go up to Utham's then. Let's see if we can get a meeting with the great, what's the word I'm looking for? Leader. I'll just go with that. For the moment.
I will confirm with Essa, though, that the person, Magra, had a very similar description to the one in there, right?
Essa?
What's up? I just got back a minute ago.
Oh, so then, yeah, for reference, Essa would have described that the person that did it was much older, but otherwise,
I don't think a frost giant cleric with their eyes covered are going to be very common.
No, this person doesn't look similar, but too young in comparison. The other person was much older. That you suspected.
S's only concern is they're a caster, so who knows.
And for the sake of Pierre, we'll tell him that we're going to Utham to deliver your joke of a trades deal thing. If I'm aware.
I'm keeping a hold of it, but I should probably go grant my thanks, along with Pierre here might be able to say that there needs to be something done about that down there.
Done about what?
Given what his people are for.
Oh, done about what the berating that party is receiving right now?
That and the evil god tattoo on the current guild leader, not a very good sight.
Yes, this is part we're going to tell Utham about.
All right. As you kind of like standing up and start, I assume, are you heading towards the castle? Yes, Essa.
Just wanted to make that clear in the PMs. Yeah.
All right. As you lot kind of deciding to head up, Pierre, you get the sense that these lot are thinking you're going to fight a god today, and you're starting to think that these people might be crazy. As you look at them as they're not well equipped even compared to you.
Pierre's just scratching his head like, I don't know about this one.
So your
Maybe
presence might
this
be well known to Utham. I wonder what he has to say about you being here. Have you met the king before?
Gotta say, I haven't met a king. Any king. Gotta just throw that out there.
Great, it'll be a
You're
first-time
about
experience for
to.
both of us.
Lovely.
Remember to be respectful.
Are you implying that I'm not?
This will be a third time experience for me. Can't wait to meet a new king.
Why do you... I'm not...
Also,
Let's go, buddy.
technically,
It'll be fun.
technically, Roloman, you have met a king before because you met Lord Sisormix.
Oh, that's true.
We have
You
met
did meet one
one.
of the Dragon Lords.
That's true. Second one.
Pierre's mustache is starting to twirl nervously. Not with his own fingers, but just seems to naturally have its own effect.
It's spinning like a bison tail.
Yeah. Every time he looks, it's more nervous about the situation. It starts to spin a little faster. But as you lot are kind of heading up the main road, the frost giants seeming to give more again, stopping every few minutes to Pierre respect. Few of them having done earlier seeming to ignore him, but as you lot getting closer to the castle, you see on the top of the balcony a very angry looking and very regal looking king, as Utham himself as well as the anvil are both standing up on the top balcony of the castle, looking about the city as if they're searching for something. As you lot come closer, one of the guards, Essa, you recognize immediately as Hroten from earlier, the stubby hill giant, comes immediately walking towards you, coming across the bridge, seeing you, kind of jogging across, taking his helmet off, looking at you a lot, and goes, "Oh, Essa, are you, your lot didn't do it? Please tell me you're not the reason why there was just a bunch of divine magic going off."
I don't know the
that
first
might be-
thing about casting with divinity.
James is just gonna blink. I don't think I did.
I'm an archer.
I
Oh,
have a big sword.
he looks over at Pierre. Did you do it?
But we do know where it's happening.
It's at the Adventure Guild.
Not even letting Pierre answer as these two continue on. He looks over and goes, "The Adventuring Guild. Well, Boloff was there earlier making a big stink about something about the
Olaf has a new tattoo.
I'm gonna wave him down to try and get it into his ear a little bit, because I don't want to spread mass panic, because evil god mentioning, probably not good.
You see as a giant, or rather large green bird, or like green-looking bird starts flapping about the city, circling it quickly. But as you look up for a moment, not being as of interest, you all kind of continue focusing back towards. As you mentioned this, the guard kind of takes a second and goes, "Boloff was acting quite weird this morning."
He has a tattoo of oat on him.
Like the dragon god.
Yep.
Evil one, yes.
Like a whole, he's got a whole dragon tattooed onto him.
No, not that.
Like
A symbol
his
for it.
symbol.
Of oat.
He'd have to have a gravestone or something of the sort to
He
be.
does.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
I-
right on the side.
I saw him this morning. He didn't have that. There'd be no way.
Well, he has,
Well, the blindfolded cleric down there might have something to do with that.
Line. You spotted Magra?
No, she was too young.
But young. Although that could be some sort of magic. I don't know how advanced you could do with magic if you make yourself look younger or not.
I'm pretty sure out of getting the fresh info, she's a high-level cleric.
Utham should have spotted it though. If Boloff met with him this morning to get to discuss, because he was going to send that group out of the city because they've been causing problems amongst the people's nervousness. Not he was supposed to be.
One of them was just framed for killing Thrid's son as well.
Wait, you mean Thrid's third? Wait, what? That was them. I thought my guards were like smoking something or drinking Dream Lily again when they told me that they had seen Dom do it. I thought that was
When the murder happened, I confirmed Dom was still in the Adventuring Guild.
And there was no way that beginner of a fighter was able to do the damage that was done to Thrid's son's body.
interesting. Oh.
And he was, from what happened, it was a very bloody scene, and Thrid nearly ran out and killed Dom.
Giving
I saw one thing the other sure didn't say. That was kind of weird.
what?
The person they were chasing, there was a child cloaked in black that hit on one of the guards' back, and then another one jumped down and grabbed the kid and jumped away off the roofs.
There
So that
aren't
was kind of weird.
there aren't any children right now in the city that could be that
Yeah,
small.
They were child-sized at least.
Oh, you see his eye. He kind of starts to scratch the top of his head. He goes, "Utham told Boloff this morning. That means that Otham's got to be in on it if that's the case. Or maybe Boloff got it in between the time that he left. He would have had to been.
Likely, I'm gonna
Who could ambush Boloff though? That fat bastard may be stupid, but he's a bull.
A gloom.
No, I've seen him kill Gloom before. He's a coward when he's outmatched. He'd run.
And please remember, when someone's not the smartest, it's easier to lure them away than actually take them out.
ambush them.
He looks over at Pierre and goes, "Are you here to slay Ot? Is that why you came here? You here to slay the dragon god?"
Gotta say, I wasn't planning on it. Just gonna throw that one out there.
What, aren't you a holy man?
One could say.
He kind of looks at you blankly and just kind of, I guess they must all have to start somewhere. I guess the rumors about them all being born these amazing soldiers was a rumor. I guess I've got no other choice but to let Utham know he's not. As he looks up and Utham's yelling at the top of his lungs in giant, something about again, as it seems to be mixed between different languages. Go ahead.
We also got word before, and I don't know if this had been delivered yet, that storm giants might be coming to invade soon.
Falthorn doesn't have the balls to do it. He'd have to basically stabilize his entire power structure and then attack us. It wouldn't be worth it.
From what we've seen, it wasn't Falthorn, it was some kind of independent group.
Raiding parties.
There's only one raiding party that's independent amongst the group. That was that one clan that follows that fiend Belf.
It could be them.
Oh.
They got attacked by a dragon lord, so that was fun.
Better to mention it than not, you know. Always can't
Alright.
be
Be safer on the safer side.
information.
I'll report this to Utham, but if I were you lot, I'd watch yourselves at night for the time being. I have a feeling things are about to get a little more interesting around here. And Utham already being in a bad mood about the party causing his people distress, I'm gonna have to hear this all day. Oh, fuck.
I'll buy you a drink tonight.
Oh, you think that's cute that you think I'm getting out of this without paperwork? Oh, as he kind of like puts his helmet back on and sulks over, walking over.
I just give him the merchant smile. When you're free, then.
Tessa understands soldier paperwork more than anyone here.
I think we should probably take a job out of town for the time being.
We can't exactly get in the guild to look at them. Luckily, I do know a few of them that we can do. Offhand. Oh.
I mean, there was a mission to guard the pens. We could always go down to the other side at the bottom of the mountain.
We can head out for that. We could also go try and scout out location of some Arctic mains.
I was gonna buy stuff for the mapping quest, but I'd have to get in the guild for that.
Yeah,
we could
should
go
not
check
near
at
there at all.
Nitwits.
I don't know if now's the time to go talk to Thrid for...
I think we should probably just do something. We're talking to other people right now.
Let's head out. We can work on possibly either the guarding of the pens.
I need to buy a mount from the pens anyway. So if we want to go down there to do that quest,
we can go say hi to BK too. I'm sure, is BK parked there or?
BK's still at the inn. Yeah, he's still he's in the stables.
We can go take him to the pens.
He wouldn't be at the pens down at the bottom.
That's the animal taming area is separate and at the bottom. That's
bottom of the mountain. Yeah, it's good.
We can take him with
We'll
us.
get BK and we'd leave. Is basically what we're doing.
We're gonna hurry and do that. Not dawdle.
Let's go get BK and head on out.
As you start to and mentioning this, you start heading back towards the guild. Give me 1 second. You see as looks like the party that was there earlier from Sunday's group seems to have kind of started to gather around a large wolf of sorts. And seems to be on a wagon and seems to be kind of gearing up and leaving. As you lot start to get closer, they kind of eye you up with a little bit of irritation and ire as they seem to ride off suddenly at the snap. As you see the other cleric seems to be glaring slightly over at you, James and Rollman.
Man, I thought we were cool.
Give me a second. So as you lot come towards the guild, getting up towards it, kind of going around the side towards the back, seeing BK back there, you also looking into the inn, the glass there, you notice as you look over that Bolov sitting there having a drink, peacefully chatting with one of the frost giant women that seem to be working the bar portion of the inn and guild, the guild.
All the three of us don't interact with them. Gonna grab BK and leave.
Safe is not to talk to.
All right. As you lot
taking the quest off the board is just signifying that it's not there. We can always go talk to those that are immediately in charge of it.
Yeah. But as you go around the outside of the building, going around to the back, coming to the stables, BK kind of sitting there, the wagon or the cart still sitting there, fully outfitted. The slight smell of of horse dung on the air. As you look over Pierre, you see a rather large mule that looks to be very well taken care of and fluffy. I think it's posted from earlier. I think, do we copy it? You can go look up, or above if you want to go find it. But as you see this very fluffy looking mule, like long sheep's wool on the sides of it, he neighs over towards you, as he looks over at you and then starts, laughing, or making the donkey laughing noise at you, as he kind of pushes his face up against you.
Oh, what a
This is Bev.
baby. I'm going to pet the mule.
This is Bavkick, or we call him BK for short.
I love this.
There's the image.
Yeah, as you start petting him, he seems to nuzzle up next to you, mostly close to your bag, looking for, as you kind of start to see him nosing through, looking for rations.
I grab an apple and just give it to him.
He takes the apple hungrily and almost in a single gulp, and then goes back to digging into Pierre's bag, trying to look for his rations. As he keeps snuggling up to Pierre, like rubbing up against him. Oh, you can tell his belly is still very full.
Oh yeah.
Let's not
Come on,
overfeed
buddy.
him now, please.
Spoiled old buddy.
Come on, buddy. We're going out.
You see the sadness look in his eyes at the utter terror of the sound of going out.
When we get to where we're going.
He starts hawing in protest.
Oh, come on,
Okay,
bud.
carrot and an apple.
He continues to haw in protest.
Let me. Hey, buddy. You eat too much, you're not gonna be able to walk.
You can see the joy in the creature's eyes suddenly.
No.
And then the giant mimic will be able to catch you really easily.
Yeah, then you won't be able to run from the mimic.
The utter fear shift in the paleness as he starts walking very fast.
There
I
you go.
pat his back. Peter's a great motivator. You should keep him moving.
There's a reason, BK, why nothing in the wild is usually very fat.
You hear very annoyed as the creature continues walking. As you walk past, again, passing by the guild, you do see, again, Bolov kind of sitting there talking and joking, but as you see now suddenly in there, Utham standing over him, yelling horrendously into his face, as Bolov continues to, standing straight into his, stand up into his face, starts laughing and making jokes at him. The two start to get into, what looks to be like, it's like pushing match. For a few moments.
I'm gonna whisper to Essa. I got 5 gold on Utham.
I'm not betting against that. That would be stupid.
As you say this, you see Utham's kind of like side glances towards you, and then just kind of like suddenly goes a little bit more professional, and you see him just kind of slam his hand into Bolov, just kind of shoving him about 5 feet, as he slams a piece of paper into Bolov's chest. Bolov looking it over and reading it through the seeing this through the glass. You see him kind of look up and like crumple it up and chuck it over at Utham, and then going for an axe. Utham immediately suddenly pulls out his scythe. As he does so, though, Bolov kind of eyes him up for a moment, like as if he's kind of figuring out if he's got a chance, and puts away his weapon and just kind of like pushes past and storms out. As he does so, you see as he kind of like storms past BK, looks over at BK and takes a piece of like a rotten piece of fruit or a vegetable that he finds on the side of the road and just chucks it over at BK, easily missing and going over the creature as BK haws at him in annoyance.
I still say nothing.
Nope, not worth it.
Pierre, having no idea who most of these people are, just watching all this in the background.
Drama.
I point out Utham. That's Utham. That's who we were talking about. Really good leader.
Hey, can we go talk to him? I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't do that.
I think I'll pass.
You guys have this conversation kind of heading towards the exit of the city. You see as Utham kind of comes out, storms off back towards the castle.
We could have gone in and probably grabbed the paper now that he's not in there, but I still don't trust that.
No. Let's just get out of here.
By the way, Pierre, how the fuck did you get here?
Oh, airship.
Wait, you have a fucking airship?
Yeah. Don't you?
Turning towards the docks?
We do, but it's being repaired.
Seeing the very large...
Are we able to take the airship down to the pens or no? Is that not possible?
I don't know.
Or is it not worth it either? Like, is it not that far away?
Well, it's all the way down the mountain.
As Rollman kind of walks over to the edge, looking down, you can't see the bottom of the mountains, Rollman, but you do see the very horrendously icy stairs going down, and realizing BK's cart probably won't get down there easily.
They should really make this accessible for carts, but we should probably use an airship. Pierre.
Would you mind, Pierre?
No, that's fine. Of course. Yeah, airship. Let's go.
You
Come
can
on.
see ours on our. We can point out ours on our way to it.
It's not exactly the prettiest looking with its damage, though.
That's fine.
Pierre smilingly turns, twirling his mustache.
Suspicious. Why is he so willing?
The best airship.
Yeah, heads towards the docks, and as you kind of follow after him, seeing the clinic still closed down and blown up.
I don't trust this. I have to do something.
Okay.
I'm
Nope.
sense motivating Pierre.
Okay.
Let it happen.
Roll sense motive.
He's
Pierre,
excited to show you his
go ahead and roll me diplomacy, Pierre. That is also a skill check. Don't worry, that's your under D on the right.
All right. Yes, I see it.
Oh, nice.
I got a 6.
All things are balanced.
You also got a 6.
But is yours in that one, Mike?
Wait. Oh shit.
What's your
where can
plus?
It's a 5.
So yeah, you both know.
Nice.
James, you're not sure if he's lying, and the rest of you all, as Pierre seems to tell you about a little bit about the airship, it sounds way too good to be true. Like the kid who tells, like a kid at school tells you about how he's got this awesome car, but he can't take it to school. You know, keeps saying he's got like some, yeah. He says he's got some sort of Lamborghini, you know, that he really drives on the weekends and all that, you know.
Works for Nintendo. He knows how to get the secret Mew.
We'll see if he's honest or not at the docks. You can't really hide it.
Yeah, as you continue following on, Pierre kind of excitingly, skipping almost along with this. You lot come to the docks and see this massive warship, and I'm talking 3 decks of cannons, fucking a bottom layer and then a top deck, as well as massive sails. Fully outfitted with a bunch of commodities. You can see magic runes carved all over the sides of it. The ship masterfully crafted in its woodwork. A bunch of different world leaders that are fully painted with nothing but themselves naked, mostly female. All very exaggerated, but none of them looking at all familiar to you lot, as you just see these random creatures that to most you look kind of horrendous, as there's like this demon creature that looks like it's slightly humanoid that's kind of disgusting, and a giant boar that looks like it's been put on 2 legs, and like, yeah, there's a bunch of designs on that kind of make you a little sickly.
There's a chubby dwarf as well. Don't forget the chubby
Yeah.
dwarf.
You do recognize the dwarf. The dwarf looks similar to the Zarius fellow you remember, James, suddenly kind of coming to your attention. But as you look over...
Drawing of Zarius' fucking mother?
No, it's a male. It's a guy.
Oh, it's a guy.
It's a fully naked dude, yeah.
Although his hair's the wrong color.
But as and then as Pierre kind of shows you lot the ship, kind of like presenting it to you lot, the magical runes carved on every doorway, talking about how each door like you open goes into its own little space that completely seems foreign in concept, and you are not at all sure how this makes sense. But as you kind of get a full tour of his ship, as you lot kind of finish up, and you kind of point over to where yours is, Pierre, you see this. Half destroyed, burnt, sail falling over, holes in it. One looking frost giant looks to be tied to a pole. 2 others look to be chasing each other with knives. It looks like it's just raggedy and torn to shit. As James points over to their ship.
His mustache, upon looking at it, just slouches down and just falls down like in a frowny face.
Look, it survived a storm giant raid.
I look at it proudly.
Korn makes a
Not a
landing
finer
on
ship there
it,
is.
and
It slowly rises again. Like, yeah, you know, it looks like a bit of a fixer-upper right now, but I'm sure it's beautiful when it's all, you know,
It was
said
beautiful
and
before,
done.
you know.
Yeah.
it was
I'm
beautiful
sure.
before it got hit with air elementals.
How many battles has your ship been through, Pierre?
Pierre starts counting.
Pierre counts to 0.
No, listen, no. Pierre starts counting on his fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. 0.
I was expecting him to say that one time I was stuck in the bathroom.
One could consider that a battle.
I will
Sometimes
say,
it is.
as you do look about his ship, you do notice a strange marking on the sails. There is a large chain collar that looks to be like kind of designed to be around someone's neck that's been painted onto the side of the or onto the sails itself of the ship. It does. You do also notice that Pierre is also carrying similar symbols amongst his armor and gear.
My smile kind of fades away. Pierre, let's ask you something.
Are you a slaver?
That's what I was going to say.
Am I a slaver? Are you kidding me?
I mean, all of the collar symbols, I can see why they made me.
Listen,
You,
Totally sensitive, by the
it's
way.
not just that, Essa. He walked up assuming Rolliman was a slave.
He did do
All
that.
all the collar iconography. He's been very absent-minded.
Okay.
I'm not judging. You're a merchant through and through if you're selling someone's life, but the fuck, man. Be open about it.
Listen, whoever said that I sold people?
We are saying that.
We aren't saying that. We're asking if you do.
I clearly don't. Have you seen a single person on this ship?
With how magical it is, I doubt we would if you didn't want us to.
Exactly. And I've shown you every part of the ship.
I like the sentiment of this man.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah, give me a diplomacy check,
Oh, that's a 19.
Pierre.
Excellent.
That's my bad.
That's a 17.
Yeah, with between the two. No, I got it, Roman. As you listen him out, yeah, you get the sense he's not a slaver. He's telling the truth.
Then what is that symbol then? Never seen it before.
Listen, it's just it comes with the ship, you know. It's a part of the deal. It's
Deal?
You know, there's a bit of a bit. Listen, you think I got this thing for free? I had to put a little bit of work into it. I had to sell. No, I know you.
Is it your soul?
No, I didn't sell. No, it's just my god. Don't worry about it. We're all good.
Oh, you are a holy man. And so
Well, one could argue, yes.
you're making this harder on yourself, but let's just get on board and we can talk on the way.
Yeah.
Question, where's the crew? There's no way you could do this all by yourself.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
Hey, DM.
Uh-huh.
Where's the crew?
As you kind of look about like with a smile and clap your hands, Warforge after Warforge comes out for a moment, and then suddenly, as you see, as they come out of these doorways, Pierre sees them as Warforges, though the rest of you almost immediately see as they change into other like short, tiny tabaxi sailors. That seem to, the size of a fella, so these are only like 3 feet tall creatures, come out and start walking about and get ready to work on the ship, start moving it about.
Do you even know what a phallus is? Does that exist currently?
They're not a thing in this age.
No, they would, at this point, you would recognize these as what they're called deep yang, which are technically considered lesser tabaxi or slave tabaxi. They are a sub-race that are usually seen in the Underdark and are found to be short, pale, and very, usually weak, but very intelligent creatures. These creatures are short, fluffy, and kind of round for their size.
See, not
Deep
slaves.
Yangs, adorable looking Deep Yang that are a little weird looking, but adorable.
One comes over and goes, "I'm not a deep yang, I come from the air." And as soon as he says a year, his mouth immediately disappears.
I glance over.
Not a slave.
Not a
Interesting.
slave.
Hmm.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet your friends then.
Of course.
BK, no biting any of them.
BK has yet to get on the ship and is just looking up at the like ramp to climb up and just shaking its head.
I'll go down and help him. This one will be calmer, buddy. You want me and Essa to stay with you? You want one of us to stay with you the entire time?
Oh, am
I'll
I
give you-
chopped liver?
I'll
What
do
the
it.
fuck?
I'll give you food.
See, he looks up and so he starts kind of step after another, pulling the cart up with him.
Every step
I'll
you
help.
take is another meal.
Yeah.
Fuck?
Elsa come up
No.
behind, starting to help.
I'll
Do
help
not
as well.
overfeed BK. We need him walking worthy.
He
BK
needs
pulls.
to be able to move.
BK pulling himself onto the wagon, looks about the fellas, and then sniffs the air and finds that you see as he kind of like starts to shake himself about from the harness as he seems to manage to unlock the harness after a few moments of jiggling the like lock on it, and then seems to go and find his walking way down towards the stair or one of the stairs and goes down below.
Roll gonna help me move this over somewhere so that it doesn't get launched off.
Sure. You got that. I'm sure there's plenty of space on one of the lower decks here.
Yeah, of course there is.
As you
Seems like you totally knew that, huh?
I
Do you know what the
totally-
ship is?
You know, half of this, I'm gonna be honest, I've only gone through about, like, maybe 3 rooms of the ship, but I like it a lot.
One of the fellows comes over and goes, "He's not the brightest. All the rooms transform to his preference, so like it just basically is the same room every time he opens one of the doors. For reference on how the ship works, our God has blessed this ship to give it to power to let you have your own personal space like a bag of holding. I don't know how they did it, but he's been blessed by this and given the command of it, so we take his orders. So if you want anything done, you talk to him." As he points to Pierre.
I see.
See, I didn't even know that. This is awesome.
He literally slept the entire way here. We picked him up, and he was just out cold.
It was great.
We crashed 3 times.
This is like the worst kind of person ever, Roland.
Wait,
is
you
like the
crashed
least...
3 times and it's still in this good of condition?
This is bad condition. What are you talking about?
I just gently point over to my ship again.
Well, we got Sharptooth down below. He's one of the best ship craftsmen in the world you can find. If you've got wood, he can make it hard and work.
So
I'm
from
sure
how
he
Pierre
can.
has been
I
described
just
as
rub my chin. Would he be able to take a look at our ship?
What'd you say, Rollman?
so far how Pierre has been described as like the antithesis of what Roland said, find
Kind of
respectful
is,
in a
yeah.
person.
The fellas looks up at you, James, and just goes, we can't leave the ship. We're kind of bound to it. Not because of him. This has nothing to do with him.
I look between our ship and the ship. Could that ship fit inside this ship?
Oh, as you look at the measurements, you're in like a small, somewhat of a what would be considered a single deck like sloop kind of styled ship. It's got its 2 decks down below it, but it's still not a very big. It's still a merchant vessel. This thing is designed to take cities out. This is a war machine. You're saying this is a war galleon. It's massive, so easily yes. You could probably sit your ship on the top deck without issue and still be able to
You could
sail.
put our ship on your ship, and therefore, you're in your ship.
The fellow looks up at you and goes, No. Kind of thinks for a second and goes, I can't explain it due to the requirements of our God, but the easiest way to understand is we don't exist and exist, and that's all you need to worry about.
Quite the predicament then. But
Intriguing.
thank you for the information.
One with the crew becomes one, as he looks over at Pierre.
Jesus fuck.
I
hate that.
I've been thinking since we've seen this ship about the fucking Jack Sparrow type.
Sad that we can't have your assistance in repairing our ship, but we'll be good in time then.
I assume this ship makes my freaking skin crawl when he says that.
You do get a sense of something strange is going on here. There's definitely a darker deal than you're comfortable with, Whirlman, and you get the feeling you should not shake hands with Pierre. Not because you're sure you don't know if Pierre's the responsible one, but definitely because Pierre's the catalyst.
I whisper into our Orby things, guys, if anything comes to make deal with you, do not accept while we're on this ship. Not a good
Plan on
idea.
it, buddy.
Why would I make deals with the weird mustache man?
As he says
My
that,
beard
he's
is
quit-
glorious enough.
You can't hear this.
You can't hear
cannot
shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Listen to me. As
Yeah.
he says this, he's just standing there twirling his mustache.
Yeah.
Oh yes, thank
Why
you.
do I need
A
his
very
assistance for a
evil-looking
beard or a
cat.
mustache? I already have a glorious beard and a decent mustache.
The fellow looks
I want my luck at a mustache back.
looks at both of you and goes, "All right, where are we going, Captain?" As he looks up to Pierre.
Hey, where did you guys want to go?
Can I
That's the
direct
bottom of the
towards
mountain.
where the animal pen area is below the mountain?
And kind of, as you just mentioned that, just he kind of looks about. The fellow's kind of walks over to the other side of the ship, looks down the side of the mountain, sees this small little farm village that's been being set up down there, and goes, "We can do that. Is that all you want to do? Is you want to go down there?"
Yep.
Just
For right now.
fellas. He kind of just shakes, like sighs, and goes, "Okay, all right." And he goes, "Well," and he looks up at Pierre.
I'm gonna lean
yeah,
over
go down
Pierre
there.
and whisper
Do
up.
you know
and
how
go,
to be a captain?
Do you know what,
I
Pierre?
can feed you instructions if you need.
No.
Yeah, take some instructions from Ullman on this short trip. I think it'd be good for you.
No,
It'll help you out later.
No, I swear I know what I'm doing. He does not know what he's doing, by the way.
I'm sorry, Pat. I'm gonna ask.
Hey.
We all can tell he's bullshitting with that, right?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh.
So Pierre, when are you gonna head to the helm to do your captain job?
Yeah. I'll get to that. Where's the helm? I asked one of the robots.
The fellas looks at you, just sighing.
If you'll,
He points to the wheel, and it says, and it has in big glowing letters now "Helm" written on it as the magic confuses onto it.
Thanks, buddy. I'm naming you Jeremy.
They don't have
Why is it
names.
always Jeremy?
I have a. Okay, well, I guess my name's Jeremy. It's not like I just introduced myself as he just turns and walks away.
I'm so sorry for you.
I'm sorry, my friend.
Our God blesses us with great deals when it is our turn. Do not worry. He will become one with the crew once it is his time.
I feel even worse for you with that.
Don't worry. You should have seen the last champion we dealt with as he kind of walks away.
So you're a champion.
Anyways.
Go take a room if that's okay.
Pierre kind of like trying to move the conversation.
James is just going downstairs to one of the rooms, opening it and just going in. Like,
Yeah, as you head down. Oh, go ahead, Pierre.
Just one tiny small note, very important to me. I'd like the wheel of the helm. I'd like it to be fuzzy.
Oh, like the
like those fuzzy steering.
Pierre kind of walks up there, looks at it, and goes, "What? It's not what my God promised." And then as soon as he finishes that words, a couple of the fellas comes walking over, annoyed, with like a little bit of, like what looks to be boar and wolf fur that they've bought, and like start like hammering nails into the wheel with the fur onto it.
if I see this happening, I'm gonna look and go, oh
You
god.
walk away.
Yeah, you
I'm
walk
walking
downstairs.
away.
Yeah, and as they're slamming away at it. Yeah. James and heading down below. James, you find one of the rooms, and as you go to open the door, it opens up into what looks to be your old noble bedroom. It looks to be like a small little stove set aside for little trinket crafting. Some books set aside on a shelf all the books you remember reading as a kid, or in your family home. Your bed identical. Yeah.
Oh, there's always a good time to brush up. I'll go crack open a book and start reading.
Okay. Yeah, as you sit down and start reading, Essa, what about you?
I'm going into a room. It's time to go hang out in the hunting lodge.
Yeah. Heading down, you find yourself a nice, relaxing room, hunting lodge. Very quiet and peaceful as you see little heads everywhere about, different trophies and such. A very relaxing room to write down research, take notes, and show off your trophies. Rollman, what about yourself?
I guess we'll go into a room. And what Roland would probably have is a training room with every conceivable weapon that he's ever held before in it, along with several different size training dummies.
Yeah. As you head in, note with a very simple grassy field beneath you, similar to where you grew up, a little tent, a tiny tent in the corner where you can sleep with ease. Dual weapons for training all set aside on a weapon rack, and a pretty good wide open area to train, as well as a little circle that looks like it's been dug out in the dirt to design like a little combat area to practice foot movements and kind of moving or stepping around different obstacles. But as you begin to kind of spend your time relaxing and practicing, All right, Pierre, you're left up above, alone at the helm now with boar and wolf fur hammered into your helm. You've never moved a ship before. You don't know how this works. You know the wheel spins.
I do know that the wheel spins.
You know there's a dock on either side of you, and that the little Warforged are all looking at you with great concern right now.
Oh, Jeremy.
This is horrible.
The fellas from earlier, sighing with irritation, comes walking up, taking his like little cap off, putting his hand, rubbing his eye, and goes, "Yes, sir."
How do I play the ship?
Sir, you literally just have to grab hold of the helm and think where you want to go. It's not difficult. It's literally an item that was given to you by our god. I don't think it's complicated.
Excellent, thank you, Jeremy.
I'm not Jeremy, and I'm going to ask for a raise at our next pay negotiation.
You guys get paid.
Wait,
That's
I
good.
pay you?
Yes, you don't realize we pay it 100 gold a year.
Excellent, good thing that I'm totally going to make enough to pay you then.
Well, if you don't, we get to kill you.
Wait, hold it.
Yeah, you see this see this line in the contract as he like snap and a little like contract appears. Like a little subtext that shows if you refuse to pay the workers and treat them horribly, they are allowed to kill you without request.
That's horrible. Okay, so anyways,
I have a feeling I'm gonna have a job application on my desk soon.
I'm gonna point down there, and I'm like, there, and I'm gonna grab the wheel.
As you do, you slam hard into the dock, the side of the docks, breaking through the wood, slamming into the into their ship, shoving it into the wall, destroying one of the back crystals, making the repairs even more expensive and longer.
They make it sue for that.
As the ship turns, none of you feel this though, as your spaces are completely individualistic. As the ship turns, scratching and everything, you see as many of the raiders and locals are just looking in awe and screaming there as they run. The ship turns, kind of going down the mountain. One of the you watch Pierre from behind as you look back, hearing the explosions and the sound of smelling the smoke as you turn back, seeing two other ships that have been completely destroyed. Their ship being now grabbed by a rope and being pulled by a group of frost giants trying to pull it back up the side of the mountain.
Right now, all that's going through Pierre's head is the "this is fine" meme as everything is on fire.
Your ship untouched, by the way, fully fine.
No, I'm aware.
Yeah, as you are thinking this, just kind of like whistling your way down, the ship continues down. 20 minutes of flying at pretty good speeds, as Pierre does not know how to control the speed. Most of the Warforged fellas like holding on for dear life. Pierre kind of slightly floating above the ship, but this isn't anything new to him, being an air genasi. It comes slamming into the ground, bouncing up and down off the ground for a few seconds.
Has opened a door somehow, and it's just in his own.
BK is down below screaming to high heaven as he doesn't have a room. He's being stored with the rest of the storage down below, so he's felt everything along with this. But as he can't really get upstairs because the ship rocking back and forth, he's down below. But as the ship skids off the ground, bouncing up, leaving little dents in the dirt where water starts to pile up, it comes to a stop right outside the town as a few of the frost giant rangers kind of come towards you lot. A sound over the intercom from the fellas is heard for Rollman, James, and Essa in their rooms as you hear, we landed, but you might want to check on your donkey.
I get worried and I'll go check on BK.
you come out seeing Essa and Rollman also coming out of their rooms. Boxes slammed against the ground, little barrels thrown everywhere, candles completely like smashed up against walls. Heading down, you say a bunch of like boxes piled over. BK looks to be barely standing, looking very scared and irritated at the same time as he is knitting.
You could call BK down.
I'll go work on calling
This is the
BK
one that has
down.
the good animal handling, or whatever the fuck it is.
I'll do it. Yep,
Yep.
that's my job.
Essa
I'll
kind of
help.
seeing James's kind of look of terror as he like comes down, like rings around the corner, kind of bolts past first. All right, you two, if you wanna, James with the help action is gonna be a +4 in this case to whatever Essa rolls.
I rolled a 17.
17, so that's a 21 in total. Yeah, BK as you don't have to roll in this case, James. I did actually look up help action for this. So yeah, as you kind of go to help them out, you watch as BK or kind of going and soothing and petting him, James in the background, while Essa gets up into BK's face and starts really kind of like trying to get eye to eye with him, whispering things to him, trying to calm him down. You can see the sigh of annoyance as the BK calms down, and you can just feel the "I told you so" coming from BK as he's looking at Essa.
Was it
That's
that
it. Look.
bad? What the hell happened?
How was I supposed to know he's incompetent? It's alright. It's alright.
We're sorry.
The donkey just looks at you wide eyes like, "I told you so."
I'm just gonna shout over the intercom. I'm gonna do a donut.
No.
You also hear at the same time one of the fellas goes, "No, no, 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 no!" as he grabs as the
I'm
wheels
running
spot over,
upstairs to tackle Pierre away from the helm.
Go with you at this point.
turning, leaving Essa down there. Roman heading up first. James following up from another deck below. Coming up to the top, you see as Pierre's being held down by two of the fellas as he's like trying his best to reach
I
towards the
will
wheel.
walk my heavy ass right on top of him.
Oh, he's gonna
Yeah.
like
You go-
elbow on him.
You go charging, and as you do so, you watch as one of the fellas seems to jump in front of you, and like as you go to tackle on them, you end up tackling into them and go rolling over Pierre. As the fellas kind of like is trying to hold on to you, but also just not really going, or it seems to be going along for the ride. As they kind of whisper in your, "You can't hurt him while he's on the ship, otherwise we gotta kill you."
He nearly killed me.
As you see Pierre's being like held down, like fully now.
Please
Pierre.
require him to have flying lessons. If he did that to BK, what the fuck else did he do?
As
Are we
you,
gonna be wanted when we get back up to the main city?
one of the fellas kind of turns and points towards the very large smoke smoke clouds
Oh
coming
my
from
God.
the docks.
How'd you get here in one piece before?
I wasn't piloting the ship.
Who was it? Why did they do it this time?
I wanted to.
You're not allowed to anymore, I don't think.
Too bad. My ship.
The fellas kind of.
Walk-
Oh, go ahead.
I look at the others, I'm like, I'm walking back to the city after this.
Going up with the wagon's going to be simpler.
BK coming out seems to nod along to that comment.
I
As
have to. I'll carve through the fucking ice and make a ramp.
As you lot kind of slowly start to disembark, getting off, Pierre kind of snaps his fingers, and the boat or the entire airship kind of shrinks back down into the size of a little pocket chain, like a little keychain, that he kind of like stuffs away in one of his pockets.
That is what would
If you
happen
damaged anything of ours during that, you're paying for it.
Yeah. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
All
And if you
right.
can't pay for it, you're working for free.
We're just gonna go.
As Pierre's got twirling his mustache in a new way to try to distract you.
It's like,
You don't
Anyways.
distract a dwarven merchant with mustaches.
okay, fine. How about this? And then he just twirls his mustache more and then walks away.
Okay.
I was really expecting you to stroke like the beard part of your.
That would have done better.
It would.
Give me Pierre. Give me a charisma roll, which is just your modifier plus a d20. James, go ahead and give me a will save.
Oh, okay.
17.
17. Okay.
He's charismatic as fuck.
James, the new twirling of this mustache kind of makes you get lost in thought for a second as you start thinking about how you could make your mustache that twirlable. With like the oil, like wondering what oils he's using. It like gets you lost in it for a moment.
Wait, damn it! No, fuck. Let's just go. So if he tries to pull that thing out, please shoot his hand.
Essa smiles.
Oh my god.
The Rangers, who are still standing within earshot, looking at you lot, completely just flabbergasted, go, One looks over at you, carrying a long wooden staff, kind of covered in moss, head to toe. Comes walking over, a bit older, as his like footsteps kind of make the ground rumble a little bit. He kind of shrinks down onto his knees, like as if he was speaking to a child, to get down to your guys' eye level, and goes, "How may I help you, small ones, today? Are you the reason for the divine energy spike that happened moments ago in the city?"
Nope.
No.
Not the
Not a-
reason, but we were present when it happened. Sort of.
Oh.
We were in town.
Understandable. Are you okay, or was there a divine attack? I see the smoke. Did the gloom bring their god or something?
Unless their god is Ode, and then no.
As he points, and as he kind of points, Roman James, as you turn back, you see not really anything specific to the docks, but the large smoke coming out of it.
My ship was parked there.
Oh.
I didn't have insurance on it yet either.
Oh, you didn't buy James's insurance, huh? James Woodwalker's insurance is the best insurance you can get for any airship. He'll replace it within 20 days or your money back.
Is it used ship insurance?
Well, it was a
No.
Woodwalker ship, so maybe it does have insurance.
That is true.
Are you the insurance holder? You might be able to get yourself a new ship for it.
The insurance holder probably died. Does that go inherited to the next owner of the ship?
It goes to the first mate.
And after
What if
that,
he died?
And he does.
I mean, I'm not a raider, but I'd guess the chef or one of the
Okay.
the next closest
Okay.
family member.
We're good. The chef
Alright.
gave it to me, so we're good.
Okay, looks like you. So
Anyway,
it's good to know that all ships, it goes from captain to first mate to chef.
oh no, that's different depending on the culture. Storm Giants, it goes like captain, first mate, strongest crew member, chef. Mostly because at that point the chef is usually the
chef's
strongest
still in
crewmate. Well, usually they're the strongest, to be honest. You gotta be pretty hefty for it to be able to cut with those blades all day. I mean, they're not just cutting people; they're also cutting food. I mean, you gotta imagine the arms on these men.
Plus, generally, you
But by the way,
want them to feed you.
that reminds me. Were you not with that random green fellow that asked about the bushery?
green.
Uh,
Oh.
green?
Yeah, there's a fire
We
giant
did-
fella that came through here.
What was his name? I met him once.
It
Ned.
started with an N, right?
Ned, yes,
Ned.
Ned. That he came into our butchery and was asking about a bushery.
We did one quest with him. I mean,
He
like
asked
an
me
okay
to donate
guy.
to the Grove, but I didn't have any small change.
Okay, so before you go into the town, I need to explain something. We butcher animals here, not plants.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
give a thumbs up.
Our food is meat, not plants.
we
That is
actually
understood.
came for the guarding mission down here.
Oh, thank God! I thought I was gonna have another idiot on my hand.
Also, I
Oh,
was looking to buy one of the animals.
he goes. You're looking to buy. You know, we have plenty in stock. If you've got the coin.
I do.
He kind of stands back up and goes and cracks his back and knees as he kind of really bends about.
Reminds me, Essa. One last thing for you. I hand Essa the 2 leather loops. Those might help you with riding.
Oh.
Yeah, you look as he hands you 2 leather nooses that are designed not to tighten.
Oh, okay.
What is that for?
If you tie them, if she gets a saddle on it, then she can put those around a portion of it, and hopefully it'll help.
Okay.
The gentleman
Right.
looks at you and goes, if I may, what are you, shopping for?
I was here specifically for a mount, and although it's my first time here, I hear you have a very large breed of wolves that you take care of.
We do, he nods. He goes, we've gained a few, through the years, as he starts kind of walking and talking to show you a lot.
I'll walk pulling BK along, patting him and giving him an apple and a carrot like I promised. Just, I'm sorry, buddy.
He looks very, very annoyed at the situation, looking back up the airship where the airship is, and a flash across his mind is very clearly seen as the realization that he's gonna have to now carry you guys everywhere again. But as he takes a moment, the frost giant druid kind of takes a moment looking at you lot, and continue walking you over towards the pens. Walking around the small town that's starting to slowly develop, you see a lot of frost giants kind of working, building houses, businesses kind of popping up. It looks like there's a full build of construction here as he is going through things. Let me pull up some.
Little town.
Yes. Let me pull up something here to find out what they cost. Yes. He kind of looks about, or as he brings you towards the larger pens that seem to be, have almost this, silvery metal, like, fencing set up. You see a bunch of large wolves that seem to be kind of walking about the pens. About 27 in total, many of them mixing between white as snow and black as night with their fluffier fur. They look to be a little bit larger on in size, but they seem to be kind of quite domesticated, as most of them just kind of yawn or lie about as people kind of walk by. No real trainers walking in the ring or in the enclosure. But yeah, people seem to be walking about, no issues as around the cage as the creatures just kind of eye you up for a moment and then go back to what they were doing.
Might be better to get one with a darker coloration. Might help you with being silent if you're going to use this mount.
Yeah, probably. That'd probably be better.
He looks over at you and goes, "If you are looking for one specifically, we can definitely try to find you a younger one. Are you looking for a war mount, a scout? What's your purchasing interest?"
I guess a war mount would be the closest to correct.
He goes, "Well, fire boars are probably your better bet. If anything, I think they're a little bit more useful in that situation. But the Quenchua are a pretty decent species. They are quite aggressive. They're meant for battle, and they can be ridden, though they do take a few years to age up to a decent size. We sell them for about 100 ruby coins for a male and about 500 for a female, which is the equivalent of basically a silver piece or a gold piece. So 100 gold pieces for a male or 500 for a female. He starts kind of walking you through and goes, "Is there a temperament? Are you looking for any sort of size? Any requirements?"
Well,
As long as it's big enough, for me to ride on, just not one that's too aggressive. I don't want problems on the road when they're not fighting.
Well, they're talking about what the specifications of what they want. I'd like to look at them and see which one is looks the most capable or cunning.
Yeah. So
not,
that's
yawning or just accepting life domesticated.
That is going to be either an animal handling or survival check, or knowledge nature. I'll take any of the three.
I'll do handle animal. Let's go.
Fucking Jesus tonight, man.
I'm rolling good today.
What is this?
It's because it's not a combat session, DM.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll find combat at some point. Yeah, Pierre calls some combat. We know that.
Get bad rolls during fighting. We haven't been fighting yet.
That's true. As you lot looking him over, roll him in, kind of taking a second to eye the creatures up, you see three that catch your attention immediately. One that looks to be very large, standing almost twice the size of any of the others, with snow white fur. It seems to be eyeing up Pierre as if he's like a snack. It seems to kind of be licking its lips as it keeps looking over at him. Specifically, Pierre, it seems to be eyeing your mustache.
You will not be touching my mustache.
But the creature's behind a silver fence that doesn't seem to be able to get past, as it just kind of be looking at the distance. Being larger, it also, seems to have a couple of smaller scars as it moves about. The others seem to avoid it. You notice a smaller, leaner-looking female that, while looks to be bright white, has little slips of crimson red that seems to be about the fur. Kind of just being very unique. The creature seems to have something off about it to you that catches your attention. Getting the sense that this creature is either one of the more capable or very unique in some way. Something about it catches your attention. You're not sure exactly what. Given its size is semi-average for what the rest of them look like. And the third looks to be the oldest of the lot. A blackened dire wolf with very thick fur, a lot of matting and cuts and scar marks all over the creature. But what catches your attention most about not only the age, the creature has very obvious saddle marks on its where its fur is, like a saddle has been sat there before. Whereas none of the others seem to have that.
What of the large one? Is that some sort of alpha of this?
Wolves don't have alphas. That's a misconception many of fighters and barbarian lots seem to mistake, because I see wolves traveling in the like groups. The creatures that travel at the front or back can vary depending on the species. Sometimes the old and young travel at the front, sometimes the strong and capable travel at the front. It depends on the danger of the area and where the creatures feel they need to be amongst the pack. It could be larger. I will say that one is quite well bred and has been quite capable, although quite moody at times. Also has a very big hankering for mule and horse meat. At the mention that, you see BK's eyes go wide.
Maybe not a good fit, though.
And he goes, well, I mean, if you're not bothered by feeding him daily, at least you have some emergency food if you need it.
Oh.
As he looks over at BK.
I hug BK.
BK is like slightly shaking and like not like solid. He's fully solid standing.
What of that one? Point to the female with the red marks.
That one seems to be able to use some sort of magic to a capability, which is extremely rare. We've never seen it amongst their species, but she's not willing to listen. No one's been able to break her so far to wear a saddle. But she can use cantrips to a certain degree, as we found. This creature is quite intelligent. Though she did barbecue the last owner, a young druid who had bought her, took her out for a day. We found her the next day sitting in the pen with a couple of charred bones, and later found her previous owner in the woods. Torn apart, the bones broken, looked like they'd been chewed on. It was not a pretty sight.
It does not sound like one.
Good news is, she doesn't have a hankering for horse meat. She seems to mostly eat pretty much anything she can catch. She likes wild game.
Which one was this?
The white one with the red hair, the female.
Okay. What do you think of that, Essa? This is going to be your round. I know they're gone. So.
Mm-hmm. Essa kind of looking about and kind of takes a second and kind of waving it off for the moment to come back later, as they kind of looking up and kind of contemplating. The druid kind of looks to you a lot and goes, if you're not interested, we also sell a very rare creature. We have these things called saber-tooths. They do go for about 250,000 gold pieces on the market. But they're extremely intelligent creatures. And once they gain an owner, that's their owner for life. They will never allow another to give them orders once they've accepted you.
I'm interested in looking at them. Definitely, we do not have the funds for that, but...
No, yeah, looking them up and down. They're gorgeous. They're a lot larger than the Quencha are, as he points them out. But you see the price tag is 250,000 gold pieces for the males, and the females are even almost double that. He kind of looks about...
Seeing if he could kill one or not.
Looking it up and down, you get the sense the creature is pretty capable. You think that if you found one in the city, out by itself, or even out in the woods in the dark, it'd probably give you a good fight. You're not sure if you'd be able to kill it right now. You definitely know you can't muscle it. The creature looks to be quite strong. So. But as the druid kind of walks you about, he kind of looking over at Pierre, seems to kind of keep eyeing Pierre up every once in a while, and he finally kind of stops as you are looking over the saber-tooth, seeing the price tag and seeing the prettier ones. He looks at Pierre for a moment and goes, So you're here to kill or to do the ritual, I take it.
I swear to Christ, if I am asked one more time about the ritual, I am going to do the ritual.
Is Pierre getting mad?
He looks over at you guys and goes, "What's a Christ?"
I don't know.
I have no idea.
He says
This
a lot of
man is
weird
very
words.
mysterious.
He nods. And he goes, "Huh. I figured you were here to kill the Oats Chosen or any of it, or the god himself, but if that is not your doing, are you here to kill a different god? Is there another one rising in Utham's lands? Are you here to kill Utham?"
I get these are questions in which I cannot answer. However, I will state I am not here to kill Lutham. I want to make that part clear.
He goes, "Oh, okay, that's understandable." He kind of nods. Goes, anyways, for the price tags you are interested in, it sounds like you can afford one of our Quentia, but you cannot afford our Sabertooth. So if I might be interested, are you looking for one of the commons, or did any of those 3 unique ones catch your eye?
Essa, did you hear what I discussed, or were you?
I heard the one that was eyeing up BK before I had to step away.
There
What?
was the other one. You want to explain it first?
Yeah, so there's 3 in total. There's the large one that Roland mistaked as an alpha that has a thing for horse meat. There is the smaller female that looks to have while white in fur, has crimson notes throughout her fur and is known to be able to cast cantrips. And was apparently intelligent enough to kill her previous owner and char him, and then return to here. The third one was a older black Quencha that looks to have a lot of scars and matted fur, but definitely has the very clear markings of what looks to have once been a saddle imprint on its fur.
Is the last one's temperament seem to be decent?
It looks very old and somewhat sluggish, but the creature does not seem to be bothered by any of the others and seems to just kind of lazily lay there.
I looked at, so there might be a reason why it's here and not being ridden by someone.
Oh,
No.
yes. Utham sent a raid out yesterday, and unfortunately, his owner did not return. We gathered him from the house. He was a war mount that has been on, hundreds of raids. He's fought storm giants, fire giants, dragons, wormlings, you name it. That creature's seen it all. Poor thing, was really sad to see his owner die.
So I'm gonna be frank right out of game. I'm looking at these 3, right, guys? The female one's probably gonna try and kill me if it doesn't like me.
Like really cool, and it likes you.
It'd be awesome if it liked me. I'm willing to take the gamble. It's the only one that I think is worth the shot.
I will say, there is silver barring between you and the enclosure. You could try and get closer to roll animal handling and see if the creature will respond to you.
May as well try.
Standing up next to the fence.
If she's willing to play ball.
I'll tell her. I like her spirit too.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Roll animal handling.
Can I help in any way or no?
You can either roll separately, which means you're trying to also get the animal's attention, or you can use the help action and give him a +4 to his roll. Okay.
What's first?
James, you want to guidance her?
I will pat you both on the back. I've already used 2 cantrips, so I'll use the last 2 for the day.
Okay. Well,
You
I
get
rolled
a
a 20.
21.
I rolled a 21, so with the +4 and the other one, that's a 26.
26. As you get close up to the cage, James kind of just patting you on the back. Rollman kind of standing in the back, kind of watching the creatures, kind of trying to make sure none of the others get closer. Seem to get too interested in you at first, Essa. A few kind of seeing Rollman's glare, they kind of shoo themselves away as they seem kind of more timid. The female, seems to respond slightly as you start to kind of, snap your fingers, kind of try to get the creature's attention. She looks up towards you and starts walking over towards you without any bother or anything. She stands. She is a lot more red on the underbelly, as you see a bright red coloration kind of filling out, and see what looks to be at first strange little black marks that as she gets right up to the fence, you recognize as runes carved into her fur, or rather colored into her fur. She seems to come up without any aggression or anything like that. She sniffs towards the fence and just kind of looks at you. You see the bright blue eyes on the creature, or on the wolf, as it looks at you for a second and just kind of stares. Doesn't seem to respond. The druid looks completely concerned and has taken about 5 steps back with the expectation of a firebolt to come out.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'll give my first words.
No worries. Pierre, while Essa is taking a second, are you looking around at anything, or is there anything that you're trying to kind of keep an eye on, or wanting to do?
Not particularly, no.
Just kind of watching this group, seeing how they operate.
Yeah, pretty much. Pierre's
Okay.
just along for the ride.
All right.
And the mustache is always on his mind. It's a
Oiled,
concern of it.
brushing it,
Yeah, he's constantly
Cleaning it.
maintaining it. Even in the heat of battle, he's maintaining his
Oh, I
mustache.
see.
He's really, that's the most important. Go ahead. Oh, SMU, never mind. Yeah. But as you continue messing with your mustache, twirling it about, people seem to continue to eye you up for a moment.
Pierre.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back, Essa.
Yep. Can I reach through the...
Yeah. The fencing isn't that thick, it just seems to be there so that they can't jump right through it.
I was like, step one of animals usually let them, at least an animal that's somewhat docile, let them sniff your hand. So I'll reach out, not trying to touch them.
Okay, roll another animal handling check.
Okay. That's an 18 for a 29.
Creature kind of like sniffs at your hand for a moment, and you can feel the heat starting to come from its mouth for a moment as it opens its mouth, and as you kind of wince, expecting a firebolt, you feel the creature lick your hand.
All right. I heard your last owner might not have been the best. I was wondering if you'd give me a shot. As I'll kind of, now she's willingly looking, kind of like scratch lightly under her chin.
Yeah, as you do, the creature, or the Quencha, seems to kind of lift its chin and happily starts to slightly make almost a cooing sound as you do so. And the creature seems to kind of relax and lays down next to the fence as you start to pet it. The druid looking on in complete surprise and shock as he looks over at Rollman and goes, I fully expected her to bite the hand off of your friend there.
I'll nod smiling and I'll look at the druid and be like, I think I'll take her.
All right, that'll be 100 gold pieces, 500 gold pieces for her.
I'll pay the full 500. Yeah.
Oh yeah, as you hand him the gold, kind of looks a little shocked at the pile, and goes as he kind of pulls out, starts counting it for a moment, and after a few moments, he puts it all back into the bag and goes, okay. And you see him like suddenly cast a spell as he waves his wand. An earth dome kind of engulfs the wolf for a moment, freaking it out for a second. But as it suddenly appears on the opposite side, right behind Essa, coming out of an earth dome, she turns towards the druid and immediately lets a firebolt go towards the druid, which to roll to hit.
Oh god.
She hits, and
You got a low AC. Alright.
well, he's also surprised. Takes 1 point of fire damage as she kind of as the druid kind of freaks out and his little moss getting on fire, like wipes it off and goes, all right, fine, you keep the damn
I let out a belly laugh.
creature. He wipes himself off, freaking out. She's your goddamn. Oh, he kind of moves his moss about and walks away. I don't care what you name her. The last one didn't even get a chance to before he died, the little vicious bastard. And as he kind of glares at the wolf.
The wolf, and I give it a look of respect.
It seems to look back at you, and you can't tell if that was a smile, but there's a look in the eye of that creature, like it was waiting for that.
I just give it a nod for being able to use magic.
It just kind of like looks over at you, James, eyes you up and down, and then looks over at BK. BK is shaking, nervous, and backing up.
I look at BK. Don't show fear.
BK looks over at you, Hawes, and then hides behind Pierre.
If you want to be
Really
respected.
willing to hide behind Pierre. Interesting.
Well, I mean, I'm standing right beside.
Yeah, but he's slightly, as you look over, he is slightly taller and a little bit wider than you are.
He's also supposedly can kill God, so you know. That's what I say.
He is from a god-slaying race.
But the female Quencha seems to walk right up to you, Essa, and starts just licking your face as it seems to calmly sit back down.
Alright. I'll think of a name for you while we're on this job.
I guess let's start watching.
as you
Yeah,
can.
I'll ask the is it a
Yeah,
ranger
exactly
or a druid?
where.
He was a druid, yeah, or he is a druid.
Okay, the druid. So exactly where should we be patrolling or standing guard?
Kind of still wiping the fire off of the little like burnt marks of his moss
Give him a
off.
handkerchief.
Takes it,
what?
looks at it, goes and kind of
I had
wipes.
to use one other. I have one more prestidigitation. He's cleaned up. Fuck it.
Kind of looks at you as you cast it and
Yeah.
goes, "That was a waste. My robe is still burnt. Wasn't a problem of the smell or the look. It's still you
I
burned
was
my."
hitting you with the burn mark specifically.
Look, did you not see the big piece missing? As you like holds it up.
Hey, the corners are now cleaned up.
God, yeah.
So, DM, do
Yeah,
you have
maybe.
direwolf stats, or is there anything different?
Is a straight up direwolf, but with a 15 in intelligence.
Okay.
These creatures are highly intelligent.
Man, he's almost as intelligent as I am.
Yeah, they're also very independent and moody. So forewarning.
That's my new buddy.
The creature, the druid looks over at you and goes, "Well, it's technically a twofer. The job you got is old. Regan Utham had asked us to set up a town down here, and so that would be our first move, if you wouldn't mind. You're going to be guarding the town around here. There are Arctic mains on the outside. There's been water elementals spotted that seem to be fighting over some of the area. It's just a giant turf war of monsters out here, including your damn Quencha little shit." As he kind of glares down at the wolf.
Might fireball
I
you again
imagine
if you keep
staring
saying
back.
that.
She's great.
As you say she's great, you see a little firebolt starting to pop up on the creature's tongue as it kind of closes its mouth at the mention. But it's as far as it goes, patrol around the town, the local the close forest. If you chop down some trees for us, we'll pay you for the wood. If you don't feel like doing it, just to kill any monsters you're running around into. Anything along the road that we're trying to build towards the king's that I don't know, that kobold city. Regan Utham ordered us to build a road to the damn city at some point. So follow that down. There's probably some areas where people are kind of waiting to have dispersed, and you'll probably find creatures. Otherwise, patrol down the cities, or around the city itself.
Sounds like a
We're
simple
gonna be
job.
here a while, guys.
He kind of looks at you lot and goes, "Oh, great." And then he kind of like turns and walks off. Yeah, you lot now find yourselves kind of standing on the side of the pen. The saber-tooth kind of eyeing up BK. One of them kind of walking over, seems to be like purring up against the gate of the wall near where Rolleman's standing. Obvious, not trying to get Rolleman's attention at all, but seems to be like kind of pushing itself against it, kind of getting closer and closer to where BK is, even though its cage kind of curves before it can get any much closer than it is.
I'll snarl at it and get a bit primitive, try and intimidate it.
Roll intimidation. Let's see what you got.
I'm totally good at this, guys.
Well, I rolled a 3, so you...
Oh, I can't lose that unless I get a roll on that one.
Damn it.
I'm pretty sure I could even intimidate him.
Let's go.
You let out a weak growl towards the cat that Sabertooth kind of takes it as a more menacing than it intends to, and kind of looks at you and kind of starts to back off the fence and slowly kind of backs away from as it doesn't turn its back towards you, but it keeps like stepping backwards until it bumps into one of the other Sabertooths, turns and starts attacking the creatures. The two start fighting each other. But you guys find yourself now standing on the outside of these pens. Some of the rangers and druids walking about the pens, but none seem to be giving you guys any mind. You do look about the town itself looking like it's a little bit more filled with koboldkin. A few actual kobolds and wyvernkin seem to be walking about the town, helping with some of the frost giant construction. Some of the tinier houses further down the street, you can definitely tell, are also designed for like kobolds and other creatures of their size. As the frost giant houses,
Our size.
yeah, tower like it's like the difference between a 3-story house and like a 1-story house for this. So.
I won't have to physically climb the stairs.
You see an inn that there's one inn that's definitely you see is designed fully as it's almost 6 stories tall and huge as a massive building, and then on the side of it has a smaller attached building that it says inn for short people.
Well, fair enough.
I'm so happy to be insulted.
But yeah, looking at the town, there's not really any businesses popped up other than the druids' little butchery that they have set up, and then like the 2 pens that they run. There is a 3rd pen of boars on the opposite side of the their little like enclosure, but that's on kind of like more towards the outside of the city.
Over here, I can start selling some houseware.
Yeah, looking about the town, most of the town's like border seems to be like a very loose rock wall that's not like more than a few feet high off the ground, seeming to be more to guard against like small like creatures of your guys' height from jumping and getting in easily. The town seems very quiet and pretty calm overall. A couple of merchants talking here and there, selling their wares on the side of the street, but nothing really of note that catches your attention.
Alright, we should probably get some rooms.
Yeah, and set BK up somewhere where he's not going to get, well, chased by monsters.
At the mention that you hear BK behind Pierre just hee-hawing loudly.
I walk
Oh,
over,
yeah,
I pat the back of his neck. It's okay.
The good news, BK, since we're just patrolling, you get to stay in town for the most part.
The sudden joy and excitement in the creature's eyes at the sound of being lazy, just easily seen. Your Quencha seems to kind of huff at that and kind of stands up and starts to follow you about.
If you want, Essa, you can take your the wolf and bond with it some more while we get some rooms and set BK
Yeah,
up.
I can bond with Skionnet. Yeah.
Alright.
All right, Chaston, can you write out how to pronounce that for me, just so
Oh, do you have a name? I don't think I heard that.
I didn't understand.
My Old Norse is not as good for pronunciation, but
It's not Old Norse, it's Norwegian.
is it Norwegian? Oh wow.
It isn't. I literally just grabbed it off of fucking Google Translate. It sounded good.
It's fair.
What
Here.
did it mean?
It's beauty.
Oh,
Yeah, for reference, that's how it's
oh, cool. How do you say that?
Skionnet?
More or less. Close enough.
Look, I
So
don't
it's-
speak Norwegian often, but
Well,
I try.
It's yes.
Skionnet?
all right. Yeah, as you say the name, the creature kind of looks up at you and seems to almost immediately respond, and kind of look and seems to almost jump at the sounding of the name.
Alright. Happy then. Perfect.
Do we know the meaning of the word, or no?
That is up to Essa on what they decide the meaning to be.
Well, I was doing Norwegian because it was the closest I could find a translator for Old Norse for fucking.
Oh, for the
for
frost
giant.
giant. Mm-hmm.
It would technically be in giant, so.
Yes.
So it's a giant. Okay.
So the giant word for beauty.
So giant beauty.
Not giant beauty.
In giant.
But yeah, as you name it, as you give the name Shinyet, she responds almost immediately to it and shoots a small firebolt into the air as it kind of like smokes away, bouncing about the creatures. She seems very energetic as she continues to go about following you.
I will. While they get a room, I'm gonna get used to very slowly riding around on her since she is a mount.
She is.
It's time to get acclimated before we're in battle.
You're also going to learn. You're also going to
Bareback.
realize very quickly she has never been mounted before. So
Yeah, we're gonna learn. Look, she's very very friendly. I'm understanding we're gonna be slow about it, understanding we're gonna see how this works.
Yeah. Heading towards the inn, Pierre still just kind of watching this. Now oiling his
Swirling
mustache.
now.
No.
He's oiling it now.
Yeah, it's
What
got
oil
it's.
do you use, Pierre? As we're
What
walking.
kind of oil do I use?
On your
Okay,
mustache.
fish oil, lens oil.
Oh,
Heard some people use sunflower.
I use a
Oh.
special blend, which is actually
Here.
trademarked in several countries. I can't actually tell you that.
Slowly loading crossbow.
But I will say it is entirely plant-based.
I will say, Pierre, maybe for the damages you could procure or tell us the exact ingredients of this oil, since it is so well known. We can maybe take that as payment for your destruction of our property.
What destruction of property?
I gesture to the smoking docks.
Is it still smoking, or is the smoke gone now?
As you look over, one sec. Mike sent me a question. I'm answering.
It's what oil he has.
Yeah. As you look over, you do see the smoke has gone out at this point.
I gesture to the docks where it was smoking. Those were burning, most likely from your actions, given how BK was, and the fact that you were tackled by those by the cat people.
You know, I would be happy to inform you of the if it saves us some bad will from some bad will of any sort. I'd be happy to inform you, seeing as you guys are my friends now, of course.
Of
He
course,
nervously
Pierre. Of course.
chuckles.
Pat him on the back.
He nervously chuckles. Anyway, so the ingredients are as follow. Demigod blood is one of them. It keeps it nice and full. The holder ooze, it gives it its nice shine. And the Mind Flayer parasite, it kind of binds it together.
I know you're bullshitting me. Because if you were using
As you
Mind
look
Flayer
at the
parasite-
vial, you see these are the exact ingredients written on the vial of the oil he is holding.
Oh my god.
Who the fuck had the balls to go blend up a fucking Mind Flayer parasite?
It works amazingly for my
You know of-
mustache.
I'm gonna make it clear we're not making this. I will find an alternative, but
How much
if
of
you
this
go
do
to a
you use
certain
daily?
continent, you will get killed immediately for this.
Yeah, I know, DM.
How many bottles do you go through?
I go through. He just starts rummaging through his bag.
There's somebody
The bottles just keep slapping on into the ground. 40,
empty?
50, hundreds are in this small little bag of holding. Most are, yeah. They look to have been well used. Like, and I'm talking like it looks like they've been cleaned out. He grabs as soon as you go to grab him, he kind of grabs them and puts them back into the bag.
I'm gonna go get some food.
Yeah, I go through many a bottle.
Let's go get the room
His
and
turn.
get caped up.
Yeah, you turn, kind of heading towards as Pierre finishes putting the bottles back into his bag. Thinking this is fully a normal thing that everyone uses, you know.
As we walk past, if we walk past any merchants, what are they exactly selling down here?
Most of the merchants are selling rations, and it seems to be mostly boar meat or wolf meat. And then the second thing they are offering looks to be maps of the local area. And then some like local like minerals and trinkets. Nothing like fancy. No. Most as you're looking about, there are a couple of shops that are definitely gonna be set up. You can tell that with how the buildings are designed, but there's nothing inside them yet. It looks like it's just waiting for people to move in.
There's a market to be filled here, and I
You know,
can
set up
smell it.
temporary shop.
Possibly. I can carve wooden utensils much easier than it was for a blowgun.
Well, we are maybe chopping down trees, might be able to skim a little off for you to use.
Perfect.
Yeah, as you guys kind of head towards the inn, you see Come up, you see a very young-looking kobold, brown skin, wearing very simple, very cheap-looking plate, but still plate nonetheless. Made of what looks to be silver metal. Kind of comes walking out. Looks over at you lot. Now he's being an actual kobold. He's about roughly James's height. As he looks at each of you and goes, "Oh, are you the lot that were hired?"
Yeah.
That we are.
Ah, I recognize your donkey. Yes. Let me introduce myself. I'm Jacaris. Yeah, Jace.
Holy
Call me Jace.
Oh God.
He kind of like holds his hand out. I'm here on work myself. I'm gonna be meeting with the Regan in the next week or two. I expect. Though I figured I'd visit the town and see what kind of coin you can make around here.
I'll give his hand a shake. I'm always looking to make a coin, but usually, jobs in between when I'm making other coin is good.
Same. I like your thinking. Have you, by the way, seen a red-haired fellow, that has like like a young friend around, like a young frost giant lass, blind and two eyes.
I'm sense motivating.
Might have a scar on the side of her face. Oh, yeah, go ahead and roll.
I might have first. What do you need them for? Are they a friend of yours or something?
Well, friends, one word you could put it. Do you kill your friends?
18 for my sense
Well,
motive.
they're no longer friends, and I give him a smile.
As you say that. What are you trying to sense, Cameron?
Is he looking for them to actually kill them, basically, or is he looking to them for other reasons?
You don't sense any bloodlust coming off of him. As he
They may
kind
or may not have. They may or may not have been somewhere that we've seen, but information isn't free.
Oh, that's easy. He kind of pulls out a couple of gold, or like a little gold pouch, or a pouch full of gold coins, and he kind of like starts to flick through some coins up and down, and goes, well, I mean, it's important to the Regan himself, so if you're looking to get in his good gracious, I would recommend not being too expensive on me, if you don't mind. But, of course, I wouldn't I wouldn't ask a merchant to do something for me for free. That's unprofessional. How much would you, charge for their general direction on which way they went? If you have or haven't seen them.
Might not
Last
be-
we saw them,
I
2 coins.
I stopped James for a second before he continues.
You could ask for things other than coin. Like information.
That's true.
He's kind of right. We don't really need a few coins right now.
Yeah, we need his information in return, actually.
Anything you might know that might be interesting?
He kind of looks up again as he from his coin goes, "Oh, sorry, what was that?"
Instead of coin, how about you repay information with information this time?
Oh, sure. He kind of puts his coin pouch on. As long as you're not asking about my true name. I mean, I don't. After the whole fiendish thing, you never know about that stuff. You give your name out to the wrong person, and you end up enslaved into a contract.
I would hate for that to happen.
Understandable. That's why you can call me James.
Yes, sure. I'll call you Susie if you want. I mean, it doesn't bother me. Whatever we're going by.
What an accommodating fella.
I know, right?
So,
Get this information first. We last saw them in the Adventurers Guild, and they had this proto-fiend, red-skinned looking man with them. He wouldn't let us pass and touch the guild to interrupt what the blindfolded young frost giant was doing.
And then they both went off in a certain direction. Don't know. We would say what direction, but we. You don't
yeah,
know.
pointing towards the big exit that you guys were looking at earlier, and he kind of like nods and goes, "That's quite useful. If he's already left, that means that Boloff is probably with him, which means that I'm already gonna be in trouble. I know where they're going next." God damn it! I gotta go deal with that damn beholder before they get to it. What information are you looking to buy?
Anything
Well-
interesting? We don't know much about these lands.
Given the current area, what do you know about it?
Around here, or
Around here, around this settlement.
We're gonna be here
We're
for a
hired to
while.
guard it.
it kind of like starts to think for a moment and goes, "Well, there's not many kobolds in the area, but the few that have popped over here, those probably a few that have broken away from the Pale Eyes control. I heard he made a play for power and almost got their leader killed. Beyond that, these parts are filled with water elementals and Arctic mains running about, probably to do with the sudden lyrium vines that people have been claiming they've been spotting. I haven't seen any, but, they're saying there's some. If there's are, that means that there's something very powerful and magic below it that died and has been absorbed into the ground, and I'm afraid for whatever killed it. Or even worse, if it's not dead. But that would be, that's pretty much all I know around these parts. I know I've been hearing more and more rumors about storm giant attacks coming, but I've yet to see any ships in the sky.
Well, then that's good enough information. That'll be something we can keep an eye out for. Thank you.
He kind of nods and then goes, "Oh, and I'll give you this one for free. Don't go into the Underdark right now."
Don't plan to. One of my uncles once told me some very scary things that are down there. No inclination to go down there right now.
But why not? What is so dangerous that we should not go down there?
There's rumors amongst the darker tunnels spreading that there are creatures with no souls but many eyes wandering. All I know is that they whatever they are, in truth, they wiped out a platoon of my men walking through here, and now I'm all that's left.
I apologize for your loss.
Yeah. As Regan Utham knows, good help is hard to find. I had a man once decide to try and spoon a creature to death, and I wish I could say he was strong, but this was a wizard who picked up a spoon thinking he could go and attack a beast. I don't.
I'm glad I'm not the only one suffering from
educate your local your men if you get the chance. Make sure they can read and write.
Of course.
No,
If
I'll
you need
not.
ever
I'll
or need
also
anything.
look at him and give this quiet warning. The guards up there are not the greatest trained. Be careful.
You're not the brightest.
I think I saw one trying to scoop water with a pitchfork.
He was successfully scooping water with.
More than
That's
once.
impressive.
He just kind of sighs and goes, "Well, at least I know my arm." Or he says under his breath, "At least I know my army will not be too challenged."
But hey, if you ever need anything, you can contact the Ironheart Merchant Company. And I motion for James to give him a business card.
I'll just pull out one of the small slips again and hand it to him.
Do you lot by chance deal in monster extermination?
Occasionally, depending on the monster.
I've got, let's say, 15,000 platinum pieces for a monster's head, if you're interested.
What's the monster first? If
Oh!
you're paying that much, that's a problem.
The pale item itself,
that's
and
a
I
red
just
flag.
chuckle.
It kind of takes a second as you chuckle at that and goes, "No, no, 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 that I would never ask adventurers to do something like that. But there's a portion of him that would be very useful to get out and kill. See, there's something I've been studying about these creatures, and I actually came here to speak to Regan Utham about this myself to see if I could, initiate his help with this." And he kind of eyes at Pierre for a moment and goes, "But I think it looks like he already figured out what I was going to do, as he's brought the man for the ritual."
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
More ritual.
And he kind of looks him up and down and goes, "Utham's already planning it, then that's perfect. The creature is supported by about 4 pillars. Beholder-like creatures that are lesser but control very specific portions of his hive. If you can take one of them out, it will weaken his abilities. He's not as strong as that Sarazeki fellow, as I found out."
Is he like unkillable with these 4 pillars?
I know of one leader that could probably kill him, and I don't know if we want to put them in the same room together.
Who might this be?
And Rowan's just purely curious now.
And he kind of looks at you up and down and goes, "There's one leader that's capable magic-wise that I know of, and that'd probably be the Illithids Collective.
Inviting them to go anywhere might be a bit dangerous.
Bringing them to anyone's lands would be dangerous. You're just basically inviting death upon yourself. But If I had to bet, that'd be the creature I'd put up against it. Though, my concern would be as if he was dominated, or if the reverse would happen.
Either way, it wouldn't look pretty for the rest of us.
But he doesn't. Zevral doesn't know about the attack coming for him, so it doesn't matter. I don't have to concern myself with him much longer either way. But if you are here to prepare for the ritual, I recommend taking out the water elementals just north of the town. A large spike of Illyrium was found sticking out of the ground, which means either a large creature died in the area from magic above ground or underground.
Could this have enhanced the water elementals, though?
In theory, they may have grown in size. Most likely, it's probably what the Arctic mains are fighting them over. Water elementals aren't territorial creatures. They just travel about, right? They usually stick to a master of some sort, meaning they don't usually find themselves out in the wild.
Yes, and
Arctic
we
mains
are
are...
them anyways.
He kind of looks at you as you kind of interrupt him. He takes a second and goes, "That's actually a brilliant idea."
With a soft smile, James is gonna go, well, they are very magically conductive and can pull quite a bit of power if used correctly. The issue is them breaking upon death.
He nods for a minute, looking over at Pierre, and then looking at you lot. He keeps eyeing Pierre up for some reason, looking up and down.
Do you want to get a private room with him? We can probably arrange that.
I hand him a vial of my oil.
As you do, as soon as it leaves your hand, it disappears back to your hand.
Oh. Sorry.
It just kind of looks you up and down and goes, "So you're the one that I sensed. Do you know that a great power of divine magic blew up? Was that you?
No.
Nope.
Did a god visit, or were you blessed by a god?"
No, that was that blind frost giant girl that you were speaking of.
It couldn't have been. I know the Chosen's mana. I know their magic. That isn't the same. That wasn't an evil domain.
Just out of game, Cameron. Mike was just called champion recently by the cast.
He was called a champion.
He was, but we're assuming that he was already champion before he arrived, so...
Well,
We don't know how recent.
hold on. And that gives me a thought. How recently have you acquired this ship? Or been gifted these bottles and powers and such? It didn't just happen, before you met us, was it?
He's gone silent.
Oh, no, it hasn't been since
Sense motive.
It's been since, he's just
I
thinking.
don't know if you have to. This is a terrible...
He's just scratching his head. Yeah, since I've been born, probably.
I'm very convinced.
I'm not convinced, but I'm not rolling either.
Roughly around the same time, I think. It's pretty close.
Am I good to roll a sense motive?
Yeah, feel free.
14.
A cat just showed up. They put a paw in my head, and just one day, and then I don't know. I had
furry paw on your shoulder.
a little furry paw on my head, and then I had an airship.
He is fully telling the truth from his perspective. Roll him, and that's you start to get a little more worried about that.
Yeah, that's
Can you
actually a pretty
recall
accurate
what our first
estimate.
conversation was if I asked you, Pierre?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
No, not at all.
Well, we can try taking a look. We can see if Hessa can scout out that area.
Thanks for the tip. And
Thank you, my friend.
what was the name again?
Not Zachary.
Not Zachary.
Jake, that's right. Jace. He goes, Jace. Yes, I was.
Wonderful.
My mother changed my name like twice when I was young. I got dropped in my head a lot. It's a long story. My memory not the greatest.
If you need any housewares or small things, let me know. I can whip it up pretty quick.
He nods and goes, "Yes, of course." And he kind of, as he pockets holding your your card. He kind of pockets it for a moment and looks about and goes, "I should be on my way." He kind of starts to walk away, and you hear, just without even a listen check, under his breath, as he's very bad at hiding it, him say, "Oh, Zacharias, you so got this. They didn't suspect a thing."
I'm gonna slowly look at Rollman. I really hope he doesn't get cursed one day.
Why do you hope he doesn't get cursed?
You wouldn't understand this because you aren't magical, but true names are a very powerful thing. Why do you think outside of my family I go by James?
Are you saying your full name is your true name? I thought like true names were like something you knew within yourself, and it was like really different than your actual name.
It can be sometimes. It can also be the name you're given right at birth, depending on the culture.
Pierre, is your true name Pierre?
Hi. Yeah, my name's Pierre.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I think God's chosen may be a bit more protected from curses, if I'm being honest. We can test that though, if you'd like, Pierre.
No.
Oh, it wouldn't be harmful. You wouldn't feel a thing, I promise.
James, you suddenly feel your throat is starting to close slightly at the mention of even
smile.
implications of violence towards Pierre.
I am joking entirely. This is
As-
James is smiling.
As you kind of let it, like, kind of change, try to make it change up your meaning behind the words, slightly changing how your face expresses it. You feel the tightening loosen. Everyone else, you don't notice anything. Pierre, you see the cat's hand starting to slightly strangle James for a second. And then as he kind of changes to a smilier disposition, the hand kind of loosens.
Does Pierre's face change at all?
Pierre,
Just gonna smile
yeah.
a little bit. That's it.
Holy shit. That's a jacked cat.
The cat can bench press more than I can. Fuck, hold up.
That cat's gonna beat someone's ass. Someone threatens their champion.
Hey, Wolf, is that Momo?
Wolf left.
Isn't here.
Shunyet looks a little disturbed, as if they can see something there that isn't there, and looks kind of like a little nervous and backing up slightly.
Hey, you alright? What's up?
It just seems to kind of relax as suddenly as James seems to change his disposition.
Oh, you're back, Essa.
Yeah. Me and Shanyet went for a walk. What's going on?
Does it look like Essa took some tumbles?
Yeah, a little bit, but Essa's come back riding on top of Shunyet, so.
I have a high ride for my level, so
Oh, okay.
it helps.
No, I checked. You can't roll low enough to fail the ride.
Yeah, that's why I grabbed that feat. I wanted to be really good at riding.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you manage a few tumbles.
He's a very interesting person.
Yeah, he had like 3 names, but he wanted to be called Jace.
Oh, what else did he call himself?
Not Zacharias and Zacharias.
What?
And, Jack.
Zach. Oh. Oh.
What are you saying O about?
So now you've met. Do we count Utham among kings you've met, or no? Because you haven't really talked to him.
We haven't really
I'd say
talked.
we were close enough.
All right, you've met 2 kings. Good job.
Who? What? Does
That's-
Zacharias ring up after that? Can I get a recall or?
Do you have knowledge, nobility, or royalty, or heraldry?
No.
No. I mean, you can give me a knowledge check
What
to
about
see if you
knowledge
know.
history?
Got you.
Knowledge history, I'll take. Yeah, you can also
I
roll
don't
it.
have that, but I just understood.
I don't think it's a huge leap if they think about it.
9.
We're only near 1 other nation.
9. Yeah, Zacharias doesn't ring any bells, Rollman. You have no idea. The name does not sound familiar.
Not from these lands, so.
James, same. You're not familiar enough with Kobold history to know who the hell he's talking about. Or she's talking about.
Doesn't ring a bell right now. Sorry. Good to know he's a
Okay,
king, though, I guess.
I'll make this simple, right? We're in the Frost Giant lands, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right
Mhm.
next to it is the Kobold kinship,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
ruled by kobolds.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So if you met a
They were
king here,
cool.
and you did,
Well,
the
we
only
just
other
saw the
king-
anvil up with Utham as well.
yeah,
So-
he was visiting. He lives nowhere nearby.
So, in reality, a king from anywhere could be here.
Okay, Zach, he's the king of the kobolds.
Oh.
I see.
Well, he gave us some interesting information that there is some water elementals just north of here a bit, and Arctic Mains may be fighting them. So once we get checked in and get BK settled in, we'll
so we
head
let the
that way
two
to
fight
scout.
and we take advantage afterwards.
I smile at James. We gave a king our business card.
Yes, we did.
This is amazing. Our company is going places.
James is looking at you very scrutinizingly, though, Essa, after saying all this.
What?
You know a lot of royalty.
Yeah. Kind of part of the job I used to have. I'm not exactly hiding it. You never asked.
What did you do before?
As you lot kind of head in, get a table, food being brought out to you lot. Pierre still messing with his mustache, listening to
Probably
you lot
after another
talk.
2 bottles.
Yep.
No, it's been at least 10 bottles by now.
I can just
God.
imagine him taking a bottle on each side and dunking it on his mustache.
It does. It seems to like
Mhm.
magically twirl more as he does so. Sorry, so go ahead.
I was a soldier being trained for an elite unit. If I kept training, I probably would have been right under the king of my lands. Didn't decide to stay.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well,
Your
I'm
reasons
glad
are your
we
reasons
have
if
you
you don't
along.
care to share.
I mean, it's not anything like that. It's just I wanted to travel.
Ah. My kindred soul.
Yeah, a structured life like that, as you can tell by my current job, isn't quite what I was looking for. As I learned as I was training.
Monotony is unfulfilling.
Yeah, I mean, spending every day in the jungle hunting monsters, it's fun at first, but
Same here. Now we're bonding.
yeah.
Except the forest.
Listen, I spent my youth inside forges and workshops.
I mean, you
And a
heard
mine.
part of the story. I told it on the airship on the way here.
You see, I was too busy with fake drug James.
Yeah, the Jaguar Knights. That's
Was that banging that was happening above us when we were fixing the fucking
I was
door?
covering for you guys with the banging because it was part of the.
Have you ever heard of the Jaguar Knights before?
Given your knowledge in this situation, give me a profession mercenary roll.
Alright. I believe that is
I will say this is very high DC. It's not likely you'll know these guys. This is
It's not exactly a broad.
no, yeah. This you haven't even heard of the concept. Even having been from the same continent, this is a very foreign order.
Haven't heard of it.
Think they wear animal pelts. They move quickly to the jungle, and they can literally turn into jaguars.
Ah. Are they
Yeah,
all,
I can't do that yet, but one day.
some sort of druid?
Think of a more what's a way to put it? Rough, less structured druid.
That's
It's
hard
more,
to
more
imagine.
A barbarian druid.
But no. Think if you took druid and like a normal fighter, and you gave them like a jungle living lifestyle.
Okay,
I can imagine
enough.
that.
Yeah.
Was there some elves that probably operated like that?
No. This is a pretty unique thing specifically to this court. That kind of came up with this concept. Elven knights would be commonly found amongst their ranks, surprisingly, but otherwise it would not be something as not. While elves may do similar things when it comes to how they fight and hunt, the concept of doing it as a combat against other nations or other people is kind of foreign.
Well, yeah, not
James-
sense, as in they use the same fighting style, not like for the.
Yeah, that would be similar to how they would hunt in forests and such.
James, remember when I was asking you about a custom armor set I would need later, made of like a cat monster leather?
Yeah, and I said
Yeah.
I'd probably be able to
Yeah,
do it.
that's roughly what they usually wear.
Okay.
They
We
have
won't
to
work
wear it to
specific
turn
on that.
into the cat.
Alright, we can manage that. Anyways, with the Arctic Mains, I think we'll take an hour before we head up there, and then see what's happening.
Oh, what time is it right now? Might just be able to go sleep.
As you look about, it looks to be somewhat dark outside still, at this point. Though that feels kind of unnatural to you. It's being this is a more wintry climate. The clouds being as dark as they are, most of the time it's pretty much dark here, so it's kind of hard to tell what time it is. Could be night, could be morning. However, you only woke up a few hours ago.
So yeah.
Well, that's more. Yeah. Okay. I say yes. Let's get some food. Pierre, would you want to come and did you fight
Well,
some
he's
water
already at the table
elementals?
with us.
I mean, do you want to come with us to fight water elementals?
Does he want to come hunting with us?
with
Is what he's
the,
saying.
Arctic Banes?
I mean, sure, why not?
Pierre kind of looking.
Are you capable?
Yeah, sure. As he dumps some more of the
You
oil
could
on
kill,
his
you could kill a
mustache.
beast if it was about to take your life.
Probably, yeah.
I'm gonna school this man while we're eating, by the way, about various scenarios.
Pierre, he goes over the same scenarios you learned in monk school that put you to sleep and why you quit. It's the same thing they try to teach you when they try to teach you about how to fight, how to hunt monsters. It's
starting to doze off.
I imagine though it'd be a little less like structured because it's not quite.
Oh yeah, it's not structured. It's just I'm gonna show a scenario in your
Like
face. You're gonna either
sporadic.
die. I'm gonna say you die or you don't die.
Yeah, similar to your practical classes, Pierre. It kind of puts you to sleep, or starts to put you kind of dozing off here.
Mustaches.
Oh yeah.
As he kind of dreams off. Oh, okay. What's your casting stat, James?
I think he's wisdom.
His wisdom. He's a cleric.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a wisdom or a d20 plus your wisdom modifier.
All right.
I hope we roll a bigger number. Well, I hope you're doing something not stupid.
I hope so too.
I would have laughed pretty hard if he was.
Oh hey.
Do you want me to answer? Do you want me to PM you the answer, or do you want the public answer?
PM it to me right now, because I don't want everyone knowing what I'm doing with this
Nah,
one.
he's keeping secrets.
That's okay. I put Pierre to sleep like a good bodyguard.
Yeah, you just.
You've eliminated the threat.
Yeah, Pierre not really paying attention to anything at this point, like half dozing off, thinking about his mustache being longer, I imagine.
Instead of counting sheep when he falls asleep, it's
Oh,
counting mustaches.
Or is it counting the amount of
to make his
oil
mustache bigger?
bottles?
No, it's counting mustaches. It's counting the hairs on his mustache.
I think the oil makes it
actually.
impervious to magic, my guy.
It would be funny if I could just use it to extend his mustache out like an inch on each side.
Hey Mike, I found you as a cat.
You did? Oh, that is me.
Look at him.
Look at him. He is me. I am him. I am Himothy, as some might even say.
You know, I've yet to hear anyone but you.
James goes pale as he's looking at Pierre.
Yeah, he can come with us.
Okay, what's with
we'll stay on opposite sides of the battlefield.
what's with the look?
Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
He's like
I'm
asleep
worried
now.
about it. Yeah, he is asleep.
He is very, very capable. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
I mean, I got a feeling he was capable, but
Yeah, I was
If you
just gonna
say
ask
so.
him if he was primarily like a caster or like
He's a
most
caster
certainly-
of some kind. I can confirm that much.
okay.
I'm pretty sure there was
Pierre,
some shield for a show there.
You hear magic and kind of thinking about a thought comes to your head of magic mustache. As you start to a moment dream up the locket of mustache, but as you start to concept the idea, you fully wake up and the idea is lost to you.
That's one of his god's favorite items.
What? No.
And then I'll go back to Squilliam because he fell asleep. You're dead. Fell asleep while on patrol.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone, Lemon. He'll be fine.
Oh, it's fun though.
I'm gonna go do my thing so that I can have my cantrips back if we need them. I'll see you all in about an hour.
All right.
As I walk out and just go sit in the cart by BK.
Yeah, you
Just
do
like,
so.
Doing my prayer for the hour before we head out.
Essa and Rollman, are you guys trying to do anything for the hour?
So, how was your ride with fuck, what was her name?
Been yet?
Shenyet.
Better than I thought. I was expecting a little amount of being used to being mounted before, but no, it was a new experience for both. So I'm probably not going to be riding her into battle anytime soon.
As you two go on to converse, you see Pierre kind of like starts to kind of fall asleep, and then kind of stands up and just kind of turns and starts walking out of the tavern.
Wait, fall asleep.
Yeah, fully out cold. And as he does so, he kind of passes by James and BK, not even responding. And as you see, kind of goes to the edge of town, throws out his ship, and disappears for the hour.
Oh,
All right then.
Praying and then brushing BK as I pray like.
That's
Magic protect me.
I am wary of Peter. I don't understand him.
I think Cameron's realized what's really in character. Has realized what's really going on here.
You'll find out because James will probably tell you through the stones.
I mean, like I already know, just not in character.
I mean,
In character, what he sensed.
Is James going to tell them?
After his prayer is done, before he meets up with them, he's gonna whisper into the stone, going, "Guys."
As you start to whisper, you feel you suddenly realize your voice is gone.
You cannot tell. This is a secret you may not share.
You get the sense that something divine and very powerful is making it so you cannot spill Pierre's secrets.
Can't spill the beans.
All that
gonna then change what I was gonna say to you guys. Are you ready to go?
you kind of hear the message kind of. There's a slight heavy breathing for a moment, and then you hear the message go off as you respond. As you kind of come out of the front of the tavern, having waited the hour, eaten, kind of had a nice, pleasant conversation. You see as Pierre comes landing down, slams into the ground hard, launching some dirt forward, kind of gets off of it. Still fully asleep, deactivates the ship by snapping. As he walks up to you, suddenly re-wakes up as if nothing happened.
Ah, you're finally awake.
Ah, you're finally awake. How did you cross the border?
Fell right into that Imperial ambush.
Pierre is covered head to toe, by the way, in blood.
Oh my god.
What the fuck did you...
I don't think he knows, James.
I don't think
You
he
might-
knows.
think he knows.
I don't have anything to clean you with. I'm not going to use a cantrip
I'd
on
like
you
to
right now.
take a hunter stance and smell him.
Yeah.
What blood this is.
Yeah, go ahead. I believe that was survival is smell.
I
So
think
No.
so.
Because it's all the tracking.
Survival. Oh yes, I have an amazing bonus for this.
you smell goblin blood and lots of it.
Okay. Alright. I don't know where the goblins were there, but alright.
I don't know.
Pierre, this isn't the first time you've just woken up covered in blood. To be honest, it's an average week for you at this point.
Mike,
This is
Mike,
fine.
out of game, would you say you went into berserker's rage? Full circle.
Full circle joke.
Snicknesh has been reborn. Oh shit.
No, not.
Anyways, let's head north, everybody.
Yeah, that's not Snicknesh.
You'll tell me later.
It's
Oh,
Kyle.
not again. Yeah, as you lot start to gather up and start having Pierre resummon the airship to get a aerial view, you start heading towards the forest. As you lot
Well, let
spot
me give him instructions so he doesn't give
Oh,
away
yeah,
our
yeah.
position.
I'll
back
try.
Yeah.
I'll fly.
a little cut more softly this time. As you lot spot in the distance a bunch of giant blue crystals in the middle of a portion of the forest clearing, popping out. You hear the sounds of roaring, howling, and the sight of large bits of ice magic going flying off as you lot come in, and that's where we're going to end session today and pick up next time with you guys
Before
fighting.
I ask Pierre if he can make us invisible so we can observe.
Ooh.
I'm sure your ship has that capability if you have
Yeah,
have,
I'm
you
sure.
know, a pink steering wheel. I'm
I
sure you
can
can do that.
totally. Yeah, I can totally make my
I think
ship
just
invisible.
thinking and it happens, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna think my ship to become
And
invisible.
us.
And us.
You think it, and you hear in the back of your head, or in the back of your back of your head here. You're just as bad as a needy son. And a snap as the entire thing goes invisible, as well as you lot, and that's where we're gonna end session.